Also, I just want to say, guys, football season's among us. And I can't
it
wait
just
for the
ended.
Super Bowl.
Been going on. Like, what are you talking about?
Well, like Super Bowl season, sorry.
Oh yeah.
Super
Oh.
Bowl season's among us, and the halftime shows.
bandwagon.
I was looking at
World.
tickets, bro. It's like
insane.
5 racks. Like,
yes, for
They-
nosebleeds.
yeah,
I
it's
was
crazy.
looking at prices when there were 2 racks.
Cool.
I was just looking at them. I was like, damn, it'd be cool to go. Just turn the phone.
I mean, it would be cool to go. It'd be crazy if the Rams end up, you
Oh,
know,
yeah.
going to the Super Bowl. It's like in LA. But that halftime show, though, what do you guys have you guys checked out the trailer for the halftime show?
The trailer was actually really dope, and I'm really
that was
excited.
all that was dope so far.
I don't know.
Yeah, I dig it.
And I'm
Was
glad.
it F. Gary Gray was the one who directed the trailer?
I'm not sure. I thought it was somebody else.
They
Nope,
do
it was
trailers
F.
for
Gary
the Super
Gray.
Bowl show now.
I
That's
guess
what was so
so
crazy about it is that
It's
they did
because
one
it's
for
the
this.
Pepsi
Right.
halftime show. So
Yeah.
it's like a Pepsi commercial.
Not only that, but I don't even drink Pepsi, and I'm like,
The Super Bowl show that's 30 years too late.
Yeah,
pretty much.
yeah, pretty much.
All right,
Mhm.
I'm gonna start it.
not in this dancery.
I mean, it's a family affair.
Yeah, I'm not gonna clap,
Geriatric.
You don't have to clap, man. We're in it.
Well, I know.
We're in it already.
We're here already. We're not in the Matrix. Welcome
no.
back
Let the games begin.
to the Soundflick podcast.
Hey,
We are back with episode 64.
Hey,
A
hello.
very special episode. We have a guest,
Brr.
and then we also have the co-host.
hey, this your boy Norik. That's cool.
I'm a co-star, sir. My name is A Sincere. What's good?
Yeah,
It's
there
your
you
boy,
go.
Young Cinny.
And-
Guys,
Yeah.
our guest star.
Our
You-
guest. Our guest is
Just one.
Veow.
Hey,
What's going
Veow.
on, everybody?
Yeah. How are you, man?
Doing all right? Big chilling?
Yeah. I mean, you pretty much live here, so
Yeah,
it
that's
didn't
also
really
facts.
take.
You guys are more
much to
guests
get
than I
you.
am.
Yeah,
Wow.
pretty much.
Recording from Veow's home, guys.
Yeah. Veow is. I mean, tell the people what you do. I guess.
He does everything.
I don't want to assume.
Create art, multimedia, music, video stuff.
Yeah,
Watch The
and-
Matrix a lot.
Yeah, and he's a Matrix
Fan.
let's give
Small
Veow a
fan.
round of applause.
Small
Huzzah! I would call him a buff.
Do you
'cause
have-
I
no,
feel like if
no,
you're a
no.
buff,
Mm-mm.
you're very.
Now, there's people out there who are super deep into it, and I'm like, whoa.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
they like know the
Yeah.
cinematography and like just
lore.
all
I mean,
the ins and
Matrix,
outs, the lore,
it's just a
everything that
huge-
isn't in the
Would you
movie.
consider somebody that believes we're in the Matrix to be a buff, or do you think they're just
No,
crazy?
no. That's conspiracy
Dumb
theories.
person.
That's just
Yeah.
only Daylight then. Daylight be talking about.
Although
we're in the
I
Matrix.
did feel like that I was in the Matrix when I saw the first one.
Oh,
and
yeah,
I walked
yeah.
out of the theater. I was like,
You thought you were in the movie?
well, no, I thought that we were in the Matrix in real life.
Like the movie, The Matrix?
No, like
No,
the
no.
Matrix, like it was a real thing.
Like the concept of the Matrix
Right.
was something that I was personally
Like we're in
living
a
in.
simulation
Exactly.
I have a question.
being used for energy by robots.
Yeah, that's a battery.
You're like, I feel like this.
I don't remember. I
I
don't.
can feel the
I
energy.
can feel the robot.
I was
sucking my life
9.
force.
Like
That's true.
I don't
I watched it when I was
remember
11.
watching the first Matrix because I was only 2.5. So
I don't either.
Nice.
I don't remember
You
the
were
first
2
time
and a
I
half?
seen it.
I was born in '96, December '96. This came out
99.
March '99. So I was 2.5 or so. So
Okay, so quick
Okay.
question. Before you went to go see the movie, did you
Wow.
ever see a trailer for the movie?
for the Matrix?
Yeah.
No, because
The
we
original?
weren't watching trailers at that time. It
Yeah, I
wasn't
was a
on like
child.
TV.
I
Yeah.
was just wondering, you know,
You
because
remember watching trailers for The Matrix?
no, because I was listening to another podcast and another guy's was like, the first time I went to go see the Matrix, I never saw a trailer for it. So going in like,
kind of just blind.
Trailers
What
were
is this?
trash
You
back
know,
then.
yeah,
You always had a
yeah.
guy.
At the
talking
time,
like
it was
this.
like a
Hey,
sci-fi.
shout out to that guy. He's a
action,
legend.
you
He
know?
made a
when
bag.
people saw the Matrix coming out, they're like, "Oh, it's just an action movie,"
Hmm
and then
Not realizing
Yeah.
how intricate that is.
yeah, how
right?
intricate it was gonna get, and then
From first time directors too.
yeah, and then I mean that's pretty much their biggest title, you know, to date.
Only, I think.
No, they did.
A gang of stuff. They have a bunch of bangers.
Oh,
yeah,
for real?
they do.
Yeah, they did like
Cloud.
that one thing they did?
Cloud Atlas.
Cloud Atlas.
Is that
wrote
it?
and directed? Yeah, with
Oh,
Tom Hanks.
I heard that was super trash.
The Wachowskis, right? That's their name.
They did another
It's not
one that
trash.
was. Oh man.
They're deep.
Yeah, no.
did,
Where's their IMDb?
But a lot of people.
Jupiter Ascending.
yeah,
You talking about
Jupiter
that one?
Ascending.
Yeah, that's a new
Trash.
one. I
They
didn't watch
did,
that.
they did the Matrix, the Animatrix.
Matrix is definitely their bag.
V for wait.
V
no.
for
Oh, V for
Vendetta.
Vendetta.
Oh,
there you
okay.
go.
Well, they
Okay.
didn't. They
All right.
didn't direct
Yeah,
it, but
no,
they
I
were
respect
a
that.
part of it.
I thought it was
respect
that.
They did 2008 Speed Racer.
Oh, that's
Trash.
A lot of
Speed
people like
Racer.
that.
Which
movie.
one
Cloud
was-
Atlas.
I didn't watch it.
Which one's Speed Racer?
There's a really colorful one with the guy racing.
Dang, I
Who
forgot
raced
that
really
Did
guy.
you ever
bad.
watch the cartoon?
I did, but I don't remember the.
It's the guy from the
Movie.
Girls Next Door. The girl
Yes, there we go. I can't.
Where
I couldn't think of his name.
After that
Yes.
movie, he never got another major acting gig
I mean-
ever.
Ever. Oh gosh. Yeah. No. No.
Next Door.
I
A few
mean.
things.
yeah,
I
they've
don't know.
been-
He was in Speed Racer with directed by the Wachowskis. That's a big movie.
I mean, after that, it was over.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
been a minute.
I mean, they're back. I mean, everybody's been wanting.
Is it Wachowski or is it Wachowski?
I think it's Wachowski.
Wachowski?
I'm just adding
Okay.
I
the
think it's
H.
Wachowski.
I always thought it was Wachowski, but it might be Wachowski. After
I've
you
always
said
said
it right now.
Wachowski.
I feel like
I'm
you're
probably
correct.
wrong. I read it off of the DVD.
Yeah.
Wachowski.
You've never heard
DVD.
anybody say it in person?
Yeah, but
Or-
I don't remember how
Oh,
they
okay.
said it.
Yeah. Well,
That's
in
fair.
this episode, we will be talking about Matrixes 1, 2, 3, and the latest.
Hmm.
in
Not the Animatrix.
No,
No, we're not going to
the
talk about that.
Animatrix.
Or
the video
Enter
game.
the Matrix.
Even
Into
though
the
the video
Matrix,
games
yeah.
are all
Maybe
canon.
we'll mention the video games.
The video games
but
are.
We won't dive
canon.
into
It's
them.
all canon.
Were they like one of the first ones to kind of do that, to have a movie and a video game both be canon?
It was a RPG like video game, so it was open world, but it wasn't like fully open world because they allowed you to be open world during missions. It was kind of weird, but it was really dope.
It
reminded
was
me-
like Toontown.
Mm.
You ever
yeah.
played Toontown
Okay.
online?
Do you
Okay,
remember
I
ever
did.
I got you,
playing
yeah.
True Crime Streets of LA? It
Yeah.
was very like
Very good
that
game.
without the full open world aspect, but it
Yeah.
was still very
Well, it was before that they could even do open worlds, right?
right. But they still did it.
Like
Grand
the
Theft
only-
Yeah, they had
only
Grand
open
Theft
world
Auto
GTA
since the
was,
90s.
Yeah, that game's been out for a minute.
Okay, yeah, I feel you. GTA. Well, they kind of had the
And
proprietary.
I think
Yeah.
they were-
On the
I think
open
the
world.
video games were an Xbox exclusive at first too.
I have no
Oh,
idea.
the Matrix? Yeah.
Yeah, it was an Xbox
Um,
exclusive.
And that's
I
why
had a
no one really
PlayStation.
played it, 'cause no one
yeah,
had-
I had
no
a
one had
PlayStation
access.
and
I played it.
I never got to play
Well,
it.
think
But
about it. The
yeah.
green X, the green. Come on,
No, I
man.
understand.
Mhm.
Branding.
I played
Yeah,
them
it's
on
good.
PlayStation.
I would see my uncle play it when I went to his house, and I'd be like, "Damn, what is this?" And then I never got to play it. I just watched.
I did remember. It reminded me of Max Payne.
Mm.
How so?
Yeah.
The bullet time.
Okay.
And like the kind of the
Mm,
you know
I
kind
like
of slow
that.
slow
I mean,
down the
yeah.
time and everything. You know.
Just the feel of the game. I think I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, because just watching it, it reminded me of those type of games. but
Good times.
yeah, no, yeah, the nostalgic times, just watching. The part of the game that I was watching him play was like he was driving one of the ships in the tunnels, running away from the machines. I was like, oh, just like in the movie. And I think at the time Revolutions was coming out, so.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think it was like
That sounds about
they
right.
they promoted the video game.
They
I mean,
promoted the
with
video game
movie,
like I believe it was a
obviously.
year prior to the movies.
Revolutions
Yes.
or to
Oh,
reload it. Yeah.
Still,
yeah,
it's
Reloaded.
still-
Yeah.
they dropped the same year, so
Mhm.
yeah, just
Because-
for both the films.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, you guys, we're going to be talking about all things The Matrix, aside from the video game, which we just talked about,
Hey.
and Animatrix, which we won't talk about. But excited to kind of go through it. As you all may or may not know, Matrix 4 recently dropped on
ball.
December 22nd,
ago.
2021. First of all, just want to get out the way, Keanu Reeves. This podcast supports Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
Always and forever. We can't wait to have you on the podcast.
Just want to say that.
Should have
first
got
and
him
foremost.
for this one. That would have been perfect.
Nah, bro, we got Veow.
We got Veow.
Yeah.
He's better. He's better.
Yeah.
And
But
He probably knows more about the Matrix than Keanu.
I'd have
For
gone
sure.
with Keanu.
At least Veow's beard connects.
Keanu's
Keanu's doesn't.
Keanu's beard doesn't connect like Veow's.
Forgot to shave.
All right, cool. So let's jump right into it. So what I wanted to do
Yeah.
before we jump into the movies is or talk about each movie is read the synopsis and then go from there.
Yeah, go
So
for
we're
it.
gonna read the synopsis of. Okay,
And
you
keep in
just
mind
said
this
that.
this is an
You said-
abridged.
yeah.
This is an abridged version of the synopsis as well.
Okay.
So Matrix, very first one.
Mhm.
Neo, played by Keanu Reeves, believes that Morpheus, Lawrence Fishburne, an elusive figure considered to be the most dangerous man alive, can answer his question, what is the Matrix? Neo is contacted by Trinity, Carrie Ann Moss, a beautiful stranger who leads him into an underworld where he meets Morpheus. They fight a brutal battle for their lives against a cadre of viciously intelligent secret agents. It is a truth that could cost Neo something more precious than his life.
Yes.
The Matrix.
The Matrix. The
I
first
feel like that
one.
wasn't a good explanation of it.
I said it's abridged.
It's a
It was
hard
okay.
movie to wrap
I
up in a
no,
few
no, I'm not
sentences.
blaming you.
Yeah.
I'm blaming the person who wrote the
wrote that-
abridged
yeah, who wrote the
version. Like, I
abridged
just feel like that's
Who
not.
wrote it? Name them. Not a joke.
Yeah.
Wiki
Well-
Master 69. No, I was kidding. It's somebody from Wikipedia though.
First off, I think The Matrix was ahead of its time.
Agreed.
And obviously, when you went to go see it in theaters, nonetheless, right?
Mhm.
That is crazy to me because I would have. Obviously, I didn't go see it in theaters, but it must have been quite an experience. And then everybody in there, just as
People were
confused as
speechless.
yeah, I mean,
People were speechless. I remember I saw it with my mom and my brother and my dad. Actually, yeah, we went as a family. We
Family
watched
affair.
it,
oh, wow.
and
family movie now.
I want to say it's probably my first like R-rated movie that I went to the theaters to go see.
Mm.
How
How old were you during the time?
9.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was
think-
R-rated about
yeah.
the first one?
I
that
think it
blood?
was just
Violence.
I think it was just
Just the
violence and
violence?
language
Okay.
because there wasn't like a sex scene or anything.
No.
like that.
Yeah, I think rated R back
Or
then.
blood, really.
It's definitely rated R has definitely stretched its limits from 1999.
Yeah, because when they were getting shot, like you can see like the
the blood splatter.
the kind of explosion of it, But yeah, everybody was speechless walking out of the theater. I have like a very vivid memory coming out and like turning around, and everyone was just like, they didn't know what they just saw. Like it was so thought
Like, what's the
provoking.
first question you even ask leaving that movie? Like,
Are we living in the
who
Matrix?
do
That's
you-
the question.
Yeah, I guess. But who do you go to talk to? Like,
There's no one to
no
talk
one
to.
to
Your
talk to, bro.
therapist.
you just go
That's
home.
Keanu
and that's
Reeves.
it. You go home and you sit with it, and that's life.
Pretty much.
So I think what's dope too is that the first Matrix really set a trend slash. There's just so many, not quotables, but just like the visual callbacks that so many people use.
Mhm.
Red pill, blue pill. Obviously the gunshot scenes. And he's doing the Neo thing.
A slow mo.
Yeah, the slow mo shots.
Mhm.
It's called Bullet Time.
Bullet time. Yeah,
It is called Bullet Time. It has an
Bullet
official
Time.
name.
I'm sorry, I'm not.
Copyright.
I'm not a Matrixian.
Well, the thing is that the Matrix really, and shout out to the cinematographer because I feel like the cinematographer has to get some sort of credit because the way that they shot the movie
What
was,
was their name? What was his name?
I don't know, it's like Bob.
keep going, I
was
got
it
you.
Oh,
Bob?
don't worry.
Yeah,
Our
Bob
guy
something.
got it.
We have our fact checker over here. His
You're
name
like,
is Jan
whatever
Cam.
that guy's name was, he deserves credit.
He does.
Or
His name is-
person.
His name is Bill Pope.
He knows who he is.
Shout out Bill Pope.
Bill Pope. Okay, I was close.
Also shout out Jam Cam.
More religious contact.
Pope.
Oh,
Just
Pope.
messing,
Yeah,
I'm
the
just
Pope.
Nah,
Wow.
hey,
No, that doesn't count.
I understood that.
It's just a
I understood that
cinematographer.
reference.
but yeah, it introduced aspects of filming that are still being
Used,
mirrored
right.
and used to this day. With bullet time, with the slow mo, which I think is like different than bullet time, like because they use the slow mo
Right.
and the it's like a 180 that they do, like with Trinity when she did her little kick and like it
Right.
kind of zoomed around.
That's
and
Bullet Time.
still.
That's like what Bullet Time is.
Yeah.
Okay.
The thing they talked about Bullet Time in the new movie isn't even real Bullet Time.
That's a okay. All right. Well,
Wow.
that's why it's even more
The Bullet
trash.
Times with the cameras and the green screen room, and
Mhm.
like that iconic Matrix 180 or 360.
Yeah,
360 shot.
Yeah.
This is why it's so dope because Veow is a fan slash he does cinema
Mm-hmm.
or like work or does camera work. So like
Mhm.
it's cool being able to hear both.
At the end of the
And-
first Matrix, there's like a documentary, and they say all of the stuff in it.
Mhm.
So
But
he
you
just
only you
watched.
watched it.
So, but- so I'm like,
You watched
Did that
it.
inspire your videography in any
No.
sort of way?
No.
Not even a little bit.
No.
No, sorry.
Who is your inspiration for videography?
skateboarding?
Okay.
Hmm.
That
Oh,
makes
that's
sense.
dope.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Did you ever watch
Skateboarding.
specific teams like their videos, like Element or
Anything that was
Baker?
at that you could unlock in Tony Hawk.
Well, so
So I
yes.
started watching like Bale's videos and
Let the
like,
games
311,
begin.
whatever they're called. But yeah,
Yeah.
Oh,
did
that's
you get
dope,
any
man.
Matrix ones?
No.
No?
Unfortunately,
No.
That'd have been good.
I know.
I should have been the what is it? What does Morpheus say when he first meets Neo? He says something very specific.
The first words he says.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
I
like
forgot.
turns and says something. I just saw.
Hello?
No.
Hello. No.
Hello.
He says something very
His
specific.
sentiment's like finally. I can't
yeah,
remember.
something like finally. I mean, even in the new one, they kind of
Make fun of it.
not make fun of it, but
They made fun of it.
It's a pretty
they
long
quote it.
conversation.
yeah, it is a really long conversation. Pretty much just like in the synopsis that you're
Hit
talking
me.
about. Morpheus and Trinity are trying to get Neo out of the Matrix and trying to convince him that the world he lives in is not real and that there is more to life than this pretty much plastic reality that he's living in. Pretty much just trying to get him out because he's the one. You know, they feel that
Morpheus
he's
believes
the one.
that he's the one. So Morpheus went to the Oracle, and the Oracle told him that a prophecy and said that he would be the one that would find the one.
Another biblical reference.
Yeah. And he's been on this search for this whole time of the person that you know is kind of tapped into the Matrix but doesn't know that they're in the Matrix because everyone else had to be like unplugged and they didn't know that it was the Matrix. So this guy Neo's been like searching for something, searching for this code. He's able to see this code, and Morpheus is able to locate him and basically gives him an option because you can't yank people out of the Matrix. They have to make a choice.
Right.
And that's like the major theme of the Matrix, I think, franchise is making choices, you know, free will and whether human beings should have it, or does that create order or does that create chaos?
Right. As if like, is free will really free? And if it is, it's kind of like a reward in a sense, like being able to unplug, right? Is that what you're kind of referring to?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was kind of a reward, but like not really, because once you unplug, you realize that humanity is like just destroyed.
It's trash.
Yeah, exactly. Which is like a super.
It's trash.
It is trash. It's a super. You know, just kind of humbling, I'm sure, experience. I'll never forget when Neo went through the process of being unplugged and like all of those, you know, literally plugs that were in him and the acupuncture that had to happen and how he had to like.
I guess that's why it was rated R too.
It was. It had disturbing images.
Pretty disturbing.
I would say
For 1999.
Well, just like
standards.
things that you haven't really seen, like coming out of that pod and it's all yoked and everything, which is like it's probably gross.
Coming out of his tomb for the first time.
I don't know.
Yes.
That's not why I was rated R.
You don't think so?
No, it's probably just pure violence, guns.
Lots of guns.
Guns.
Lots
of guns.
You can't have a room full of guns and killing cops and stuff without rated R.
Yeah,
You kill a cop, it's rated R for sure.
Yeah, that makes sense.
that does make sense.
The first movie, obviously, it became a cult classic. You know, it really started drawing people in. And
It was pretty
getting
popular.
Getting people to want more. You know, and then
It made, or actually no, never mind. That's the second movie.
How much did it make? It made a lot, right?
It did make a lot, but
It was like ridiculous.
I don't think it broke any records as yet. Fact checker, can we get how much? Yeah, the gross for Matrix.
That's why I was kind of
Oh,
surprised at
very
you saying
gross.
that it was like ahead of its time. I was like, really? I don't think it was ahead of its time.
I feel like the
It
idea
was, like,
or just the
gothic imagery,
vision-
like-
yeah, no, I know what you mean. Like,
A lot of movies
it
were
was
kind of
still-
gothic around that time. I would
But
say.
I mean, like, that's not like
new.
no, we don't do that now. That's stuff's
No,
that's,
yeah,
like, very
but
90s
a
looking.
lot of the movies around that time were gothic, but they weren't of like the blow your mind type of gothic, you know, that was around. Especially with connecting into like the internet, you know, internet wasn't even as big. I mean, it was big at the
They
time,
had
but
that
it
movie,
wasn't.
The Internet, that came out in like '96 or something like that.
I mean, it's not the first movie to even deal with this like fake.
Fake world.
Yeah, you know. Like, have you guys ever seen the 13th Room or 13th Floor or something like that? 13th Floor.
I think
is what it's called?
no, I've heard of that. I've heard of it though.
There's a movie that basically that deals with the same situation. But everyone's in a
I mean,
computer
there's
simulation.
what is it? Plato's Cave. That's kind of what the Matrix is, you
Nice.
know. You just kind of somebody's trapped in a cave and they're seeing like shadows off of fire, but
Right.
and they think that's how the outside world looks, and you know that's just somebody is showing them, not knowing that they can actually leave the cave and there's a whole world that they've never seen before, you know.
Okay,
but-
I see you, Skywalker. That's some insightful shit.
Yeah, I mean that's Plato, bro. That's the man.
Okay. All right. I feel it.
Not everyone accepts that though. Like Cypher, he wanted to go back into the
yeah.
Matrix. You know, what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah, he wanted to
Which
eat
I thought was
the
really
fake
interesting.
steak.
Yeah, but it
Ignorance is
probably
bliss.
tasted delicious. Yeah.
That's what he says.
Yeah. I mean, some people just, I guess, after being out of the Matrix for so long, eating crap and, not getting anywhere, a lot of people around you are dying. You're just like, maybe I'll side with the machines. They don't seem so bad.
I think it was a great, just kind of, I forgot the literary term for it, but I just think it was like a great kind of showcase of what some humans would rather have. They just want to be in a fantasy instead of dealing with like really hard truths and realities of what's going on in their life, and they're just like, nah, if I can forget all that.
It was. I like how the Matrix inadvertently broke the fourth wall by giving people so much like thought on it, right? Like leaving the movie, like what's the first thing you think of? Like, are we really in the Matrix? So breaking the fourth wall in the sense like they're self-reflecting on all these things by watching the movie.
It was extremely cerebral.
Right.
So I feel you on that for sure. Now, Veow, when we did the we did a Matrix watch party on Netflix.
That was
During the
very
pandemic.
fun.
Yeah, during the pandemic, and you jumped into that, which was great because you were adding some really cool just tidbits to the movie that I didn't even notice. I think it was something that had to do with like the door number or
the
something
room
like
number,
that, the room
something.
number.
Yeah, Trinity's in the beginning. She's in room 303. 3.
Yeah.
You know?
Trinity.
Yes.
Trinity situation.
Yep. Trinity, another biblical reference as well.
Yep.
Father, Son, Holy Spirit.
There's a bunch.
Yep. Yeah.
It is littered throughout it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I appreciate the attention to detail in building out the lore, and I feel like that the first movie, it was like a labor of love in the first movie, and then every movie after that, kind of you can see the studio's influence in
Warner
every other
Bros?
movie after
Right.
that.
Warner Media.
Yeah, you know how Warner Brothers does. They always executives like to get involved over there.
Not only that, because it turns into a cash grab / like, well, if you want to do these certain effects, you need a bag, and the only way you're gonna get this bag is if you listen to what we need or what we want. Or...
I just don't know. We didn't look at all their movies, but they have like a few movies that did pretty well. Like I don't think they were struggling or anything. You know?
No,
No,
They were
I
gonna
don't
get
think they were
that. They got
struggling.
that budget, no problem. They probably got greenlit for that second movie immediately
yeah.
Yeah.
and
Well,
just chilled.
And it took a while.
And we're
Good
going to
4
talk
years.
about that because they
Tough.
were able to do some really, really cool stuff for the second and third movie, like with that budget. Like
Yeah.
it was really, really insane. One of the things I wanted to touch on was the music in the Matrix.
Okay.
Just like all of the techno. That was the first time that I heard Club to Death.
Yeah.
That song, and it just went crazy after the Matrix. Everybody was like, "Oh, it's the Matrix song! It's the Matrix song!" But it just made that scene so fire. And I remember playing like Perfect Dark. If you guys ever played Perfect Dark, they had a level that was kind of modeled after that scene that you can play. It was called The
that's dope.
Grid. And it was just super dope. Like that scene and the Kung Fu scene were like that's top tier.
That Rob Zombie song is the one that it
In the
stays
club.
my head. Yeah.
In the
That's
club,
like what
yeah.
I think of when I think of Matrix music. I think of that Rob Zombie song. Can't remember what it's called right now though.
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called
It
either.
has
But
some weird name.
I hear it.
Oh, Dragula. That's what it's called. It's called
Okay.
Dragula.
Oh wow. What a name.
Yeah, that guy's crazy.
Yeah, Rob Zombie. No, yeah, Rob
Insane.
Zombie's crazy.
Insane. The video is ridiculous.
But yeah, probably jumping into part 2 now. Matrix 1 probably.
Real quick before we jump
Yeah,
into part
yeah.
2, I was trying to rewatch them all before I
Uh-huh.
came on, but I could only get to the first 2,
Same.
just for time reasons.
Yeah, makes sense. Long ass movies.
Yeah. But the first one, dude, banger.
Yeah,
dude. It
no,
holds up
it's-
so
okay.
well.
So
It's a classic.
rating. We'll do each one individually, but
10.
Matrix one rating 10.
What's the highest rating?
the highest rating is a 10.
Yeah,
11.
that's the highest.
It's great.
That sounds like 10.
It's slapper.
Narik.
I give it like a 9.5. Honestly, like I rarely give movies a 10, so getting a 9.5.
What's knocking it to that 9? What's knocking that 0.5 off?
That's a good question.
Just because.
Not really.
Technicality.
To attest with Nareek, because I'm
Just
gonna
guys.
give it a 9.
Actually,
Cast was too diverse.
The cast was too diverse.
no.
No, actually,
That's good.
I'd probably give it a 10. You know, I mean, it's just
it might get a 10. Yeah,
It's
it might get a
it's-
10.
Well,
I'm coming out of that
so
9.
assuming Nareek were to stay at a 9.5, I was gonna give it a 9 because I think when you watch certain movies, or like obviously it's been a long time since we first seen the movie, you already have, it's kind of like we listen to an album for the first time and the way it makes you feel. So you kind of already know in your head like it's always been this to me, even though you could forget like the key reasons as to why you didn't give it like that.
That makes
You're
sense.
saying I only liked it because of nostalgia.
Sure.
No, dude.
people love nostalgia.
It slaps.
Yeah.
It's filled with philosophical bangers. The fight scenes are choreographed super tight. I'm not even really big into choreography.
yeah, no,
choreography,
I
but
love the
choreography.
choreography.
Is it the
It
same
was really
choreographer
good.
for all the movies?
I hope so.
I believe so because then that guy ended up doing the John Wick movies choreography.
I have
With
not
Keanu.
watched.
Basic-
I mean, that
basically-
subway fight scene was insane.
The subway fight scene. Is,
That was
John Wick is like
crazy.
I'm
watching the
okay, I
Matrix.
get inspired. I'm like,
Yeah.
woo.
What we haven't talked about is Hugo Weaving.
Okay.
Hugo Weaving was excellent as Agent Smith.
Mhm.
I mean, the menace,
Agent
just
Smith.
the way that he carried himself on screen.
I love the Red Skull.
It just seemed like
Understood that reference.
it just seemed like that he just had this command, you know, and like I think he was like shorter than the other agents and everything like
How
that.
tall
but
is he?
I don't know.
Hugo Weaving, I'll look it up. I got you.
But
Nah, I just
He
wanted
just-
to see if
his
James Cameron was-
his dialogue and monologues were just incredible. It was absolutely incredible. When he was
Yeah.
talking to Morpheus and he was like, "It's the stink," and like just started talking about how the Matrix
pretty
smells and
menacing,
everything. It
I'd
was,
say.
You made him sound so happy.
bro. It was so
It's
fire.
the stink.
So
Yeah, I'm not as menacing
So,
as
Yeah,
Hugo
it's
Weaving.
super
Sorry.
menacing.
Hugo Weaving is 6'2". Just throw that in there.
That is not short.
No, he's not short at all.
No, I said he was shorter than the other agents that were with him. So the other agents
That
were
was
probably
like
like,
6'5",
yeah,
6'5",
exactly,
6'7".
yeah.
But no, I agree. Hugo Weaving has this. He has so much facial expressions with glasses on,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it was
I know
pretty
what you
gnarly to
mean.
see that. But no, yeah, he's definitely one of my favorite actors that plays villains. But every villain he plays is always different and is always done in like
Yeah,
a
no,
really good way.
he's a
Is
good.
he in V for Vendetta? He's V for Vendetta, right?
He's V.
Yeah.
He's the guy.
Yeah, he's the guy.
Yeah.
He's in another movie. I think he's in Lord of the Rings. Is he not?
Hmm.
He is
I,
in
wa-
Lord of the
I
Rings.
wonder
yeah.
if he's like the Wachowskis version of who's
They reuse a lot of the same
Tarantino's
actors.
version of
Like Brad Pitt or Leonardo
he would-
DiCaprio.
Huh?
You're
He's
talking
like-
about Michael
like,
Madsen.
like Tim Roth or
Tim Roth.
you know. Or,
yeah,
or
but yeah,
something.
he's but basically he's one of those.
It's like I'm gonna keep casting you in
Exactly,
these movies
yeah.
because you're fire and
Exactly.
He's
we
like
do
his
well.
Rob Schneider.
oh no,
Oh yeah, that's good.
That's a good one.
We definitely got to do an Adam Sandler
No, we
episode
don't.
one of these
We
days.
will.
I'll be
I'm
on
saying.
for that.
No, we do not.
All right,
need
for sure.
You guys could have me back for that if you want to do
I'm
it
down.
in
It'll be
like
it'll be
7
crazy.
months.
I'm down.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. I can't, in honest, faith, really knock anything from The Matrix. I would have to rewatch it again, looking for something bad. But there's nothing that pops out that's.
Well, for me, The
I don't think
Matrix
you'll
was
find it in that
always.
first
I think,
No.
if I remember correctly, it was one of the first movies I really paid attention to dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
And
You
I
did?
You had a choice. I mean, well, you didn't have a
Yeah,
choice.
you didn't have a
Yeah.
choice. That was the movie.
Well, yeah. So like,
That's
I
all
don't-
movies.
yeah. Well, no,
Mm.
with this one, like you really have to pay
Ye-
attention. And you're not gonna.
if you miss like,
I mean,
If you don't
Some of
pay
the key-
attention in any movie you watch, you're not going to know what's going on.
I think for most action movies or comedy movies, it doesn't
Maybe
really
like,
matter.
okay,
I think-
how can you have a comedy movie without paying attention to dialogue?
Grown-ups too.
Never watched it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I don't know.
What?
Adam
Grown-ups
Sandler
has
reference.
like no plot aside from I'm gonna chill
Well,
with my
the plot
friends.
is in dialogue. Those are two different things. So I get what he's saying.
Yeah, there
But
was people talking
I also
and
get
making
what- I
jokes
also
the whole
get what
time,
you're
right?
saying.
But like,
He's
yeah.
just being very literal.
I would imagine that in that movie with Adam Sandler, like most of his movies are, it's them making fun of people.
Yeah,
Or
They
themselves.
crack a lot of jokes,
Yeah.
which is dialogue.
I'm calling Charlie Chaplin and having a conversation with him.
I was gonna say, what about the
Yeah, you
silent
could do
movie?
that. You could
The
do that.
silent movies.
But as soon as he can make a not silent movie, he did.
Yeah, he was like,
calling
"Fuck
Charlie
that.
Chaplin.
That's too much work."
The
You
thing
gotta,
is
go,
that
you gotta go far back.
yeah, Fantasia.
Yeah, Fantasia, dude. Come on,
It
everyone
came out
watches
2000.
Fantasia all the time.
Oh no.
It enjoys Fantasia so much. How many times do you watch Fantasia? This
like
year.
twice.
This year? 0 times so
Negative
far.
10?
That's on no one's annual watch
Negative
list.
10
That's like a
years?
hardcore Disney.
They
fan.
came out with Disney Plus and probably nobody watches
The
it.
Disney Vault is open for Fantasia. Ain't nobody going in there.
What vault? Nobody cares about.
Exactly.
I mean,
Well,
that was actually pretty good branding.
I like
the,
the
Disney
the
Vault.
Disney Vault. Yeah, it was.
But
it was
okay,
fire.
before
We're
we
a
get
little older,
sidetracked.
I think, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we all give our ratings. Cool. So Matrix number 2, Matrix Reloaded, right?
Yeah.
I just watched The Matrix 2 like today.
That was probably like the one I didn't pay attention to the most.
You're bluffing. The Matrix 2 was my favorite.
It's notably the
I like
most
the 3.
convoluted dialogue.
You think so?
Like in history of cinema.
I love
The scene where the old guy tells Neo what's going down, basically.
Oh, that was insane.
It's mad. It's jargon. It's hard to follow.
Mm.
It is hard to follow, but basically he's just saying that like this has happened before, and the people before you have chosen
No, I get what you was
to
saying.
reset the
to be.
I've had to sit through it a million times to try and understand it, though.
I mean, but it's great that
on
you
your
do
first
that.
watch through,
No, your brain is fried.
the main purpose of the one is to get the prime directive back to the
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
source.
my assumption is
Lots
it's
of
hard
word
to watch
sauce.
The
Lots of
Matrix
word
High.
sauce on there.
I'm assuming if you try to watch The Matrix High, it's there's
that's
like
fine.
no
That's
hope.
No,
fine.
I mean
It's fine.
it just depends.
I just
on
told you I
what kind of
watched
person you are. No, I love that dialogue. I mean, I feel you on it being like it could be viewed as it being too much, but it was, I don't know, it was just enough for me. Like I like that it confused me because I just felt that that
This
it
is
had to
over my
up the
head.
stakes. Exactly,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
over
I'm
my
just
head.
a human.
Just like, what? Like,
I don't get
This
what's
is
going on
basically
here.
God. They're basically painting him to be like God.
I mean, the only way.
Oops, sorry, didn't mean to hit that.
Yeah,
it wasn't
It wasn't trash. It was great.
The only reason, you know, like you said, like they had to up the Matrix, and to do a part 2, you really have to.
Well, they
try
made
to further
$700
confuse people.
million off of that.
They went on record and said that the purpose of it was to shatter all of the stuff that they established in the first one, though. Like it was intentionally made to like kind of break their own rules that they
Mhm.
established and kind of change what we thought the Matrix was. That's what
Yeah.
they say in the.
I mean,
I mean,
Exactly.
I
can
liked
see
it
that.
because I felt like it was it. I mean, The Matrix 1 didn't need a sequel. Let's just get that out of the.
So
you know,
I was having this
it doesn't
conversation
need
the
a
other day.
sequel.
Shout
It
out
could've
my
ended
shout out the
there,
homie
yeah.
LA
It could've
Salter,
ended.
but the homie LA because I was talking about this because I wanted to talk to other people that podcast and whatnot. Like, hey, what did you think of The Matrix? And just
Mhm.
like very brief. And he was the one and only person outside of us that said it did not need a sequel.
No,
it
it
did not
didn't.
need a sequel.
It didn't.
None of the other
Yeah.
movies needed to be made. The Matrix.
It made it seem like the ending of The Matrix and Neo flying made it seem like it was like a, just a thing that
You
they
have
threw in
this
there,
man
like
flying away like Superman.
yeah, but it
didn't
it didn't
need a sequel.
narratively you didn't feel like, oh, he just learned how to fly. You just thought it was like some cool ending thing, like, all right, we're gonna just have him fly at the screen at the end. But
Yeah.
then when you see the second movie, you're like, oh,
No, he unlocked
like,
the possibility.
he can
There's
fly
no
now.
there's no limit to his possibilities. He can do whatever.
Limit does
he
not
controls
exist.
the
Yeah,
limit
yeah.
does not exist. He controls.
He
Lightning
can code.
controls.
He could change the code at will. He can do all kind of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Limitless.
He could see the code.
Which I
is
love
the
that
code.
the second movie really highlighted was like, all right, he talked about
he
doing all
understands
this
the
stuff.
code, right?
And I love how, Morpheus said, he was like, when Neo was like, are you telling me that I can dodge bullets? And he's like, well, I'm telling you, when you know how to master whatever, you won't have to. And then we got to see
Oh, he
that.
says
Like,
when you're ready.
oh,
Yeah.
He just says when you're ready. You won't have to.
yeah, when you're ready, you
Is
won't
part
have to.
2 when he goes
then-
blind, or is that 3?
That's 3.
I think it's
Okay,
like the
we'll
end
get
of 2 or
there.
3. Yeah.
That's 3.
We'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there. But number 2 was really dope. I mean, they shot number 2 and 3 at the same time. I loved all of the additions. I liked that they had the rogue programs with the Merovingians, the Russian guy, or he is Russian guy, right?
I think
think
it's
so.
like
Or French
The
guy,
French guy. Yeah.
French guy,
French
and
perf?
yeah, French perf. That's good.
He drugged
good
that
way to-
lady.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Code.
sure.
He was calling it a code,
Cool.
but he drugged her.
Real quick synopsis.
Oh, yeah,
So
do
let's
that.
see if
Oh,
we
yeah, yeah.
agree with it or not.
Second.
Oh
synopsis.
yeah.
I think Rick's gonna
Same
get a kick out
person?
of get a kick out of this one.
All right.
Freedom Fighters. Freedom
Okay.
Fighters, Neo, Trinity, and Morpheus continue to lead the revolt against the Machine Army, unleashing their arsenal of extraordinary skills and weaponry against the systematic forces of repression and exploitation. In their quest to save the human race from extinction, they gain greater insight into the construct of the Matrix and Neo's pivotal role in the fate of mankind.
I just don't understand who that's for. Like,
I was gonna say like
who's this for?
it kind of sounded like a Dr. Seuss poem with all the big.
It
It's an
doesn't even
abridged.
describe anything.
Yeah.
It doesn't describe
Yeah,
anything.
it's
But
just-
I
It's
feel like
I mean, I get
butcher
it. I
that.
get what it's saying. It is not wrong. But calling them freedom fighters is like painting a weird picture.
Yeah.
Especially with what I think of
They're
freedom
fighting
fighters
for their
as, like,
life.
freedom
Yeah,
fighters.
these guys are fighting for like.
Well,
Humanity.
I mean,
They're-
they were in Zion and like
Fighting
the
for
last
their
of the
life.
human race trying to, fight against the
Yeah, I
machines.
get it.
Fighting
Okay,
for
we're talking
freedom.
about the second one. I got some questions. I was watching this earlier. Zion, they're in the Matrix.
Mhm.
Zion is in
Oh,
the
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Matrix.
No, it's not. It's
They're in
supposed to
that
be in the
white
real world.
room, and they're like, doom, 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 and then it shows them like jacked in.
You talking about the kids?
No, I'm talking about like the people
okay.
running it.
So-
Like the
so
Zion mainframe.
What I thought,
Which mainframe? I mean, I hated that.
yeah, I didn't like that.
I love
either.
the Matrix. I hated that.
What I thought with that is that they were utilizing the Matrix to create things in the real world, which I think was like the theme, having Smith kind of come out of the Matrix and into the real world. There was like a blending that started to happen that I feel like was a little unspoken. Like there wasn't anybody who was like, all right, guys, the Matrix is starting to blend in with the real world, so we're able to do these different things. But I didn't really notice that until you pointed it out right now. But
Yeah, I just noticed it today for
assumed-
the first time. I was like, wait a minute, they're jacked in. I was like, they're actually in the Matrix, controlling the Matrix from.
Yeah, in their own server, pretty much, right? Kind of
I
thing.
guess.
And I think it's also supposed to kind of show that they're in the future still. Like there's certain
That was another
technologies that
thing.
they're able to do.
This is another thing that happens to me when I watch a movie too many times, is that I start asking questions about the world. When they were walking around in this place, I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, they got all this crazy technology. They're jacking in. They got these hovercraft
Yeah.
cars. But all of the buildings look like they're like rusted, like living in rust holes.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause
Partying
they don't-
in
they don't-
caves.
Holes.
I feel like in the way that I look at that is that they didn't have enough materials to make their
Yeah.
home good, and
I-
they had to make.
My theory is that they built the humans built those pods, they built all this technology, and then eventually
They ran out.
technology took
over
over
the-
and ran them into the earth to pretty much hide from these machines. I mean, that's what I think.
It's
you
just
know?
like Wall.
So we got so far into the future, pretty much.
yeah,
that
it took over.
took over and
Oh,
then destroyed.
and the technology that the humans created, and
It
you
just
know,
turned
all
into a dystopia, basically.
Yeah.
'cause
There's
of all
just a few
technology.
things about the time that bugged me.
They
I'm
never
like,
really
when
talked about
yeah,
that.
Yeah, they,
Yeah.
I know they just kind of gloss over it. They're
Mhm.
like, well, it's the future, so everything looks dystopian.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
funny because
I feel you.
that's
I feel
always
you.
reminding me
That's fine.
of,
That's
or not
something.
reminding me, but like made me think of. Have you guys ever heard of the Flintstones theory?
No.
yes,
When basically the Flintstones actually takes
and the
place
Jetsons
after the
After
Jetsons. Yes, because when they do their
Oh.
crossover,
Got it.
yeah. It's basically that the Jetsons was before, and whatever happens with their time machine causes this whole like rut in the timeline, and
So-
it becomes a dystopia. And the
And then we get
Flintstones
talking
is them
dinosaurs,
exactly, and then the Flintstones is them
or
rebuilding
pet
everything.
dinosaurs. Yeah, I don't
So
know
you're
if
saying
they-
that it's happening before?
Yeah, the Jetsons is
No,
technically
no. I mean,
before.
in the context of the Matrix.
Oh yes.
You're saying that the things in the dystopian world are happening before.
Oh, sorry. No, so not in that aspect, but more so like it's in the, even though it's considered the future.
It's really the past.
Yes.
They went so far into the
No.
future that it put them into the
No.
past. Is that
They
what
went so
you're
far
saying?
into the future because of building all this technology that it's like it's setting them back. That
I
makes
get
sense
what you're
because it's
saying.
because
I
it's
get
what you're
overtaking.
saying. I get what you're saying.
You're just super literal, man. I didn't
Yeah,
anticipate
yeah.
you're
this.
saying things.
No,
literally.
I didn't anticipate.
I see where it's.
All right.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
woke.
Here, you want to know
Guess
something
you guys
literal
aren't
that
ready
was
for
bothering
that
me
yet.
today? I watched the first Matrix, just to go back to the first Matrix.
Wait.
Tank in his at the end, dozer, he's like, Neo's
miss
like,
Tank.
oh, this can't be happening, blah blah blah, whatever. I gotta go back in and save Morpheus when he goes to save him in the jump and the whole thing.
Mhm.
He's like, Neo, this is loco.
Mm.
But he talks about how him and his brother they don't have holes. They're not from the Matrix.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
they're-
were
He
born
was
in-
born in like the
Zion.
year 3000, whatever the
So,
fuck.
yeah,
Loco is like a 1990s pop Mexican culture term. I was like, well, how does he know this word?
Well, okay, so I have a
He's
theory.
biracial.
Not just that. Well, they tried to do that, but
Weird.
It was a little weird. But I feel like if we went so far into the future that we lost, books, libraries, knowledge, different things like that, people in the future would just pick up random things and start using it because they got exposed to it. So what?
1,000 years.
I mean, what if he saw a movie that was old that had loco in it? He was like,
Bro,
I love that
no.
word.
What if you
That's
watched? What if he
crazy.
found a VHS of Blood In,
like
Blood
the,
Out?
like the 90s culture is gonna it's pop right now and it stays pop for another 1,000
Well, I don't
years.
know
I mean, the 90s culture
never
just
dies
came
out.
back.
It
So
never dies
Hey, bro,
out.
I'm just saying.
It keeps going.
If I get stuck in a cryo chamber and for 1,000 years music gets lost, I'm putting out detox.
You're gonna recreate
I'm
everything.
putting out detox, and
I was gonna say, I don't know if you
I'd recreate
know,
so
but
many records.
if I went back in time, I think about this all the time. If I went back in time and wrote this record, I'd be good.
It's crazy that putting out
There's a
Detox
movie
is
like that.
is a joke still, right?
Yeah, it is.
When we were young, we used to say like, "Oh, when Detox drops," and it was like already a like
Detox is dropping.
never
on Dre's
gonna
deathbed,
drop.
bro.
Yeah, it's crazy, how
Crazy.
that's still the case.
What
Now
a
it
jerk.
would, for real, it would be tight if
Am I right?
if he dropped it at the Pepsi show.
at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, Super
Go
Bowl.
get
No.
detox now.
It would be so sad.
Well, if he
That's why. That's why it
We
took 20
dropped a song.
years. That's why it took over 20 years because they were waiting for this halftime.
It's gonna
show.
suck.
he's the James Cameron of rap.
If he drops Detox now and it doesn't
James
sound like what
Cameron
we
rap.
wanted, which is like post-chronic,
Oh,
post-chronic 2001.
the
gonna be-
detox that we hear
it's gonna
now
sound
is
like
not
trash.
the detox that he would have put out
Right.
at all.
No, it's gonna sound like that
It's-
last thing he did, which was like pop.
It's
rap.
gonna be him and
I don't know
Skylar
what
Grey.
that
Compton?
was.
Compton.
You weren't a fan?
Wait, we're talking about the Matrix. Yeah, no, it was fine. It was
Compton's
fine,
a
but it
music
wasn't.
podcast too.
It wasn't the post-chronic 2001.
We can bring it
that
back
I
to the
wanted
Matrix
from
by
Dr.
saying
Dre.
you unplug
Absolutely
the
not.
album.
What?
Yeah, so we could tie
No,
this back into the
Dre
Matrix by saying,
unplugged the album.
yeah, he should have pulled the plug on the album, but he didn't.
Yeah. Well, back to the movie.
Oh no.
All right, we're gonna get back.
Hey man.
So,
Yeah.
two was cool. Like I said, I didn't skim through it. I put it on and left it in the background, but I was there working on stuff.
You didn't care.
It's got a lot of
You didn't care at
philosophical
all.
ramblings.
Yeah, I was just it was okay. The thing I liked about it is that they expanded the cast. You know, there was more characters. We got to see more of the people that were fighting the war outside of the people that saved.
Freed more minds in the last 6 months than we have in the last 6 years.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, and because of that, we got more characters and more dialogue and
Shout out
more
now,
personalities and stuff like that. So that's one thing that I really liked about it. I don't know, just kind of put it in the background. and
Jada
then-
Pinkett Smith.
Yeah. What is that Jada?
Yeah, it was Jada.
Yeah.
It was
Okay,
Jada.
yeah.
It was Jada. Yeah.
She had
And in the
she
new
had
one?
some history with Morpheus.
And the new one.
They gave him a little bit of background.
Yeah. They had him dance a little bit. Now that dance scene was
Don't
pretty
tell-
cracking though. It
Don't
was
tell
like
Will
a
Smith that.
Good festival. That she had an entanglement with Morpheus. He
Oh,
knew.
No.
He decided to go make Wild Wild West instead of
You know,
becoming
it's
Neo.
funny actually though because originally Neo
Yeah.
was
Supposed
supposed
to be Will
Will Smith, which
That's
I always
crazy.
say would have been a terrible movie.
But why
It
did
would've
Oh, it
been-
would have been so
was
trash.
there a
so bad.
reason why he didn't pick it?
'Cause
I
he
think
picked
said
Wild
that.
Wild
He
West.
thought
They
it
picked
Wild Wild West
West.
was going to be a better movie. Like an
Garbage.
idiot. But in
Cowboy
fairness, he would have
movie.
ruined The Matrix.
Yeah, it wouldn't have
Probably,
been.
It would
Yeah.
have been a terrible.
It wouldn't
film.
have gotten.
No.
He would have had like his
Yeah.
Will Smith humor in it.
It's just I could picture Will Smith as Mr. Anderson, but not as Neo. Like him as like him being Neo in a trench coat with the glasses, bro. I would have been like, come on,
I could
bro.
see him-
Like, get him out.
That's
of
why
I
here.
he-
could see him as Neo before I could see him as
Is this-
Agent Smith.
No, not as Agent
Wow.
Smith, as
his name-
Neo before he became Neo, pretty much.
Oh,
like
I thought you
as
said as
Anderson.
Agent Smith. for
No.
some reason.
You
No.
said something about that.
That's
but-
hilarious,
No,
though.
you said Agent
He
Smith.
said
So
Agent
I don't know
Smith.
what
I
it was
said
about.
I said as Mr. Anderson. That's what I said. And you
Oh,
guys just
okay.
You know, that's
That would
Maybe I
have been
did make that
hilarious.
mistake.
If Will Smith was Agent Smith.
I was thinking
I
you
don't
said
know.
Agent
Is that
Smith.
why
I was
he-
mind blown. I
It's
was
a
like,
glitch
what?
in the Matrix.
Yeah, what kind of no? That would not have
Is
Agent
that why?
Will
is that why he?
Smith.
Is that why he did Men in
Agent Will
Black?
Smith.
Agent Will Smith.
probably.
Is that why he did Men in Black? Because of the
Was that
because of
why?
black and
yeah.
white suit.
That would have been Men in Black too.
Sure.
All right, I like it. I,
I can
like
just
it.
imagine him being like his silly self. Like,
I
could
for
you
sh-
imagine him like hitting on Trinity?
Oh, it would have been
Like he
trash.
would have
Oh,
been
God.
doing that thing he does. I just imagine like Fresh Prince Will Smith.
He unplugs.
Carry
What's
on,
the
Moss.
thing that he does?
I'm not going to impersonate the guy. I just imagine like Fresh Prince Will Smith.
He unplugs and he's in Bel Air.
You know what I mean?
If he kicks a beatbox at
Exactly.
any
I'm
point in the
saying,
movie,
some shit like that. Dude.
Trinity.
it's over.
That'd
That'd be ridiculous.
That's the Men in Black beatbox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember.
All right,
Reverse.
we're not
way
doing
too
that.
off
Yeah.
track. But going back to part 2, I think at the end,
Bro, they built a whole freeway. That was hard to me.
yeah.
Like,
Oh no, that was cool.
They built a
That
whole
part was
freeway
cool.
just to get the shot that they needed to get. And
That
I
was-
thought that was amazing.
That was
It
like
still
the
exists, right?
best.
I believe so.
Yeah.
I think it actually connected, but it's like
Oh, I thought
something
it was
that-
just sitting somewhere.
Now it's just a fast track
Detached.
somewhere off the 91.
The
Yeah, I
best fight
I
scene
feel
of
like it's
that
part of
movie.
the 210 or something.
Nah, it's just like you can take the back road to Disney.
I think it's the 210. I'm not even gonna lie.
I wouldn't
Like,
doubt it.
They call it the 101 in the movie.
really?
Because of
Mhm.
why?
Oh.
Imagine they called it the 303.
But I
No,
mean, the
it
one.
wasn't one.
Yeah,
the
I know.
one.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that part is probably
But
like
there's
the
two
best part of
ones.
the movie because of
'Cause
the
Agent
fight
Smith.
scene on top of the truck.
How much?
It was decent.
How
that-
much,
that
fight
how
scene.
much time do we got?
We got time, man.
It don't
I
matter.
was gonna ask you guys, but there's 4 movies to talk about. But I was gonna ask you guys what you guys thought the best fight scene in all the movies were.
Ooh,
It has to be the
in
freeway
3.
scene, for my opinion.
In 3,
no. What? In 3?
I think in 3
With who?
with Agent Smith,
Which one?
the last one.
The one
What?
with all the Smiths.
In the rain,
Yeah, but it was just him versus Neo.
Right.
Yeah,
But I'm saying,
But they were
lined
just
the
all there,
street.
yeah.
but all
Nah,
the Smiths and in the rain, right on the rooftop.
yeah, that part was so dope to me.
That was a big scene.
Yeah, like just
Yours? What's
just
your
the
favorite fight
rain.
scene?
The Morpheus is fighting Neo.
Mm.
Yeah, that was incredible.
The training scene.
Yes.
I
my
was always
favorite.
a fan
It's
of
a good one.
the Keymaker. That whole like pot in the fight scene on the bikes, and that's the most memorable part of the Matrix for me. But then again, I'm
You mean
yeah.
on
the freeway.
in Reloaded on the freeway?
Yeah, on the freeway.
Yeah,
I feel that. I feel that
That's
for
a-
sure.
Oh, you were
I
saying.
mean,
that's the one.
I probably mine is gonna be the fight with the Merovingian's like crew after he stopped the bullets and they all had the
in
swords.
the foyer.
Mm.
Yes, in the foyer.
In the foyer.
Foyer. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
was,
was cool.
I know.
Foyer.
In the for
Yeah.
sure.
But
The
you
wall
guys,
of bullets.
For your-
you guys want to give a quick rating
Yeah.
to 2?
I mean, I give 2 an 8.5. Even though that it's my favorite, I think The Matrix 1 is still a better like movie.
It just overwhelmed the concept for number 1. It's just again standalone.
I just really like number 2. I like the colors of it. I like how they just like really expanded it. They made everyone was like at the level that they needed to be. It was like we don't need to train anybody right now. Everyone's real.
Facts.
Yeah.
You know, and like that's what I loved is that they really showcased everyone being real. They showed Morpheus being real because I kind of felt bad for Morpheus like when he was fighting Agent Smith and he got, taken it. I just
he
felt
wasn't
like he
the one. Shit.
I just felt like he wasn't like as real as he should have been.
Right.
But he kind of sacrificed himself, so I get it. But in the second movie, all of them got to be as real as they actually are. And I appreciated that.
I think that was more of a thing of them showing that Morpheus, even as strong as he is, was not able to fight agents.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
That only Neo was able to defeat him, even though
Right.
Trinity shot one in the head and killed him
Yeah.
very early in the movie. Well, actually, that's at the end.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the
Of-
first one though.
Yeah, at the end.
8.7.
First one.
That was a good
8.7.
shot of the gun though.
Gotchas.
Yeah.
8.7. Is that what you said?
8.7.
Okay, it's probably the same 7.
I said 8,
Did you not?
8.5.
I thought you said 7.
You said 7,
Yeah.
but it has one of your favorite fight scenes on it, or the best.
No,
You
he
the-
said
No,
third
one
one.
of the
third,
better
third one
ones,
has
yeah.
it. Yeah.
That's right.
The third one is not really my favorite. But we
I
can
I can see that.
I
we
really
can
like
jump
the
into it.
second one, and I'll give it a 9. But I'm a fan.
Yeah.
So what's funny
Second one was cool.
is
It's only a
The-
9 because of the philosophical ramble.
the-
and they had a samurai
follow.
sword, fam. Like what?
So many cool
Fire.
things.
Super fire.
so the third one is actually the one I remember going to the movies. I remember I went to.
Oh, you were
the-
old enough now.
Yeah, I was
I don't think I saw
2003.
any of them in
It was right
theaters.
I saw
before
the
my
second and third.
7th birthday, so I was 6.
Okay.
That's
I went.
crazy.
I went to the
Yeah.
cinema. I went to the Cinema Star in San Bernardino. I remember.
Okay.
But yeah,
Was there a
I-
lot of people that went like in line to go see it?
no, I remember my dad just like, hey, let's go to the movies. Like,
I feel like the hype for the third one, like I think a lot of people knew that the third one wasn't going to be it. Like,
yes.
all the money went to the second one because everyone was like,
It's
down.
crazy that your parents took you to see The Matrix.
A
when
lot
you
of
were
money
6.
went into the.
my
I can't get over that.
I had young parents. My dad took me to see Jackass when I was younger, when it first came out. So
I think I went to see
You
that.
ended up being
too,
Christian,
too.
so that's pretty crazy. My parents were super Christian.
my dad was Catholic.
My parents were not religious at all, so we went to see everything.
But no, yeah. Even though I remember the third
Nothing
one,
stopped me.
technically I remember the third one. It was probably my least favorite. Well, until but still.
The third one is the hardest one for me to kind of recollect. Like I remember Homeboy and like the little exoskeleton shooting the machines.
The
But
third
other than
one
that-
came out so close.
It's
and I
jammed.
will watch them so many times back to back. They're just like one movie to me. So I do.
That's
sometimes
probably
I'll be
what they
like,
try to
oh,
do,
this-
too.
Is this from this one?
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Do you have the synopsis?
Yeah.
for 3?
So this synopsis.
Real quick.
Hold on to your butts. In a dystopia overrun by robots, Neo, mankind's greatest hope, is trapped in a limbo world. Meanwhile, the majority of the planet's
didn't like that.
population remains in a state of suspended virtual reality. The few humans who are
Yeah. I didn't like that.
cognizant
I
of
did.
grim realities of the world desperately try to hold off their mechanical enemies long enough for Neo to escape and save the day. But things turn disastrous when all-powerful computer program Agent Smith arrives in the flesh.
I know.
You guys didn't like it.
It-
You never felt powerless or
No,
like
no, no.
helpless in a situation.
I mean,
you can't get
every
out of no matter what you
superhero,
do.
every
I felt
superhero
that
has
way.
to lose their powers. Obviously, I think.
He didn't lose his powers, right?
Well, he couldn't
just
even.
stuck.
He,
Well,
yeah, I
he,
mean, when
he
you're
gained
stuck,
new
yeah.
powers with using his powers in the real world.
He couldn't even
Right.
defeat
Which,
the train.
to your
man.
point about the
That-
Matrix in the real
That
world
tripped
being
me out.
closer,
Yeah,
that was,
because you're talking about when he stopped the
that was at the
machines.
end of the second one.
Yeah.
And I liked how this movie took. I think it's like one of the first movies I've seen that like right after the second one
Oh, it
ended.
just
The third
started.
one, it
Right.
just started.
Yeah,
right
I started
there.
watching
That
the
was
third
cool.
one. I was like, oh, whoa, whoa.
I think
should've
that's
just
one of the
finished the
things that
second
kind of
one
gets glossed
properly.
over in the second one is that that's what Bro tells him is that, and that's what he tries to tell Morpheus is that the whole one thing is kind of a lie.
Mhm.
It was just another form of control. That's what he says.
And it's like all of us can do this, pretty much. Is that what he's saying?
I think that he tries to say that, but I don't ever get that explicitly.
Yeah.
Everyone still points to Neo like a god character, even in the. Well, we're not there yet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll
we're about
get,
to.
we'll get to
Alright.
that point.
Spoiler
But with the
alert.
third one, I mean, I like the coma aspect. I like how Smith, took over that guy
Yeah,
Bane.
that was
and
cool.
like,
Right.
that, I thought
Yeah,
that was
into
it
the
was
real
really
life.
Kinda
menacing
tripped my
at the
brain
end.
out a little bit.
Yeah,
how
I
much
was
he
like,
acted like
whoa.
him. That guy, like,
Yeah.
I don't know what the deal was with that. It was weird. He like really acted well.
I wonder if they did like
Smith.
any like face mapping, like
I
where it
don't
was
think
actually
so.
Smith.
It wasn't like that in those days. They
Yeah,
didn't have
no.
that technology like that down yet.
Early
That dude
2000s,
was
yeah.
acting really well.
Yeah, he was just
he was
really
well
good.
cast.
Agent
Mhm.
Hugo.
I wouldn't doubt
Weaving,
if he
Agent
was
Smith.
acting
Yeah.
face to face with Hugo Weaving to like get some like
Definitely.
tips.
Yeah,
and,
he
like,
definitely hung out with him.
Yeah,
a lot.
for sure. No, that's pretty cool.
But
That's
like
actually a really
some
good
of his
point.
like smirks and smiles or
Yeah.
like the like things he would do, I would be like, oh
I'm pretty
my
sure
God,
they had
very
like a
Agent
reference
Smith.
video of Hugo doing it, and then it's like, okay, we want you to do it exactly like
You might
this.
be right.
Yeah,
That's probably a good way to do it.
Either
Yeah.
way, he acted his ass off.
did.
Applause.
No, he did
Yeah.
a good job. Yeah, I mean the limbo thing. I just didn't like how he was jacked into the Matrix after like going into a coma. Like it would have been different if they like plugged him in to try and like revive him, and then all of a sudden he was in limbo. But I just felt like in going into a coma, like how do you even get into limbo?
I don't know.
And that
This is a train
Kinda-
man.
well, that just kind of like
Well, I
I was just
mean,
kind of like, all right,
they're-
it brought me out of the reality.
They're dealing with
Even though
like
the-
consciousness. Like, I mean, they're tapping into his
Yeah.
consciousness, right? So like
Yeah,
when you're in a coma,
who knows what's going on?
You're still conscious.
Yeah,
I don't know. You guys ever been in a coma?
No.
Nah, not that I
Thankfully
know.
not.
No. I had eye surgery one time,
hmm
and it was terrifying. I was stuck inside my head. I felt like
Oh my god,
they opened my eye and I could see out, but it was like I was stuck in the bottom of a hole and I could see like out
Oh, wow.
a light.
Oh,
You know,
yeah,
and I could
that's-
see it
that's
getting
scary.
filled
The
with
sunken
blood and
place.
stuff. And so so I'm like, oh, dude, if this is what a coma's like, because
Mhm.
I was like in my head being like, help, but it was like I could feel my body,
Mhm.
but I was stuck in a dark room.
I've had surgery
pretty trippy,
before.
man.
I've
Yeah.
done sleep.
So if that's what a coma's like,
paralysis?
then that's terrifying. Sleep
Oh, no,
paralysis is
that's
different.
That's different.
Okay.
That's fun.
I've been to that, but I've had surgery
Yeah,
It
before.
wasn't like a
and
little sleep
I
paralysis.
believe I woke up during the procedure because I remember a bunch of people just standing around me and just a light, and then I just
You're
go
like, why
back-
do my eyes hurt?
and then I just went back to sleep. No, it wasn't eye
Dang.
surgery, but it was a
It's a
appendix
line
surgery.
from the Matrix. That's what
Oh.
Neo, when he
Have-
first wakes up,
Oh,
he says,
yeah.
why do my eyes hurt? And he says, because you've never used them before.
Ah.
Have you guys ever had a dream where you fall and before you
I do
fall
remember
you
that.
kind of wake up? But
Mhm.
has it ever happened to you? I only ask because this used to happen to me a lot, and I've asked other people, and I guess it's happened to them too. Before your body hits the ground, you're observing your body from outside of your body, and you see like your aura fall
Yeah.
back within yourself, and then you wake up.
Yeah, I've seen
Nah,
Inception.
I've never had that happen to me.
I'm dead.
Never had that happen to me. But
The kick-
I mean, it's cool though.
Yeah,
It's
it's
super
cool.
cool.
Might be a tumor.
Terrified me when I was 8.
We got to get that checked out.
I'm a tumor. 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 I'm
But
a
yeah,
tumor.
three. The one thing I probably didn't like about in the beginning was like the train man. I don't know. It was
It was
his
a little
character was a
confusing.
little weird, just a
Scared
little
you?
crazy, wacky.
Crazy and wacky.
Yeah, I'm the train man. Like, okay, like,
The crazy wacky.
and he
train man.
obviously I liked what his purpose was is to get programs, transferred elsewhere and
It's like a
stuff.
USB cord.
Yeah, he was like, pretty much. That's what the train man was.
Yeah,
He was like the hard drive, and then
Mm.
he plugs you into another.
I like that.
Whatever
I like that.
mainframe.
Well, this is the first time that we get introduced to the character Sati, which is a little girl.
Yes.
And she's with her family, and the family kind of tells Neo where he is, and basically lets him know, like, the train man runs this place. Sorry, we got passage, but
Train man.
I
The
don't know about
character's
you.
name is Sati.
Sati.
The
yes.
little
Sati.
girl.
Yeah,
the little
Sati.
girl.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
T.I.
No, not Ti.
Oh, okay.
Sati.
SATs.
Yeah.
All right.
Appropriate.
So, yeah, but so she basically tells Neo, like, well, I don't remember what she says to him, but you're stuck here. You got to figure out, getting
the
to
train man
to the
is
train
not gonna
man.
let you on. They pretty much they wanted him there. I think even Agent Smith knew he was there.
I think so because Agent Smith now has the Oracle's precog abilities because he absorbed the Oracle.
Right.
At the
And
end of the
Agent
second one.
Smith woke up before Neo did, in the new body.
You'd think
Yes.
all these computer programs would have like antivirus.
Yeah.
That's a good point. They never introduced that.
Well, I think the machines were like a form of that, and then
The machines were the firewall.
What do you mean?
No, I'm just trying to
Explain.
No.
No,
no,
I'm
it's
with
just-
you. That was
Tell me.
profound.
I was
Let's
like,
go.
yo,
I
let
was
me know.
ready. I was ready to hear this. Like, okay.
Oh no, I mean,
But no, like going back to like, they didn't explain how they got into that world. I think, yeah, they were probably a form of protection and then ended up turning on the humans.
I mean,
You mean
yeah,
the-
that's what
the
the
machines?
firewall is, right? I mean, just like any type of like AI targeting system.
Like, oh, you're the
missed
virus.
It. You missed it already.
Yeah.
Ah,
No,
Skywalker.
kind of like what you're going, like what you're saying. Yeah, like the machines were like, oh no, the humans are the virus.
I mean, I thought that honestly, Agent Smith's character development throughout all three films was better than anyone else's
Yeah.
character development.
He was the
He was
antivirus. He
Well,
was
was it-
like,
was-
we don't need humans. Until they figured out.
well, he was a rogue program.
Well, depending on
Yeah.
how you
Which was
perceive
trying
it,
to get rid
Agent
of
Smith
humans.
is the one. So I mean, you could technically view the Matrix from both sides, from my understanding. Even though we're watching it mostly through like Neo's point of
Yeah,
view.
yeah. I was thinking that on the
Thinking
way
that
here.
Agent Smith is actually the one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because even
And Neo's the bad guy.
yeah, no, I can see because like pretty much the machines.
No. What?
No.
I'm
I
just-
I
I'm
know
just-
what he I know
How
what
could
he's
he
trying
be
to
the bad
say.
guy?
No,
No, I'm
in
just
a
saying,
sense-
depending on how you
The
Because-
architect tells Neo to his face that he's the one.
No, but I'm just saying
Yeah,
that
but-
there's people that perceive it that way. I'm not saying I agree with it.
Actually, he doesn't say he's the one. He says that he has the code that needs to get reinserted into the Matrix.
Yeah,
I have heard people say that Agent Smith and Neo together are the one, like kind of a
yeah,
duality thing. I don't know,
yeah. I
Batman
mean, we
was
kind
I
of
feel like
see
Neo-
it at the end
I
of the
feel like
movie.
Neo is the
but they
bad
changed
guy.
that. Oh, the fourth.
Neo's.
Yeah.
Neo's
I feel
the
like
white
Neo's the
rebel.
bad guy because the architect basically says that Neo can reset the Matrix and choose who like repopulates it. You know, so that's like the role of the one is like you destroy the
Yeah.
Matrix and then you choose
All
the
these
Republic.
machines are
So
just
he would be the bad
listening
guy, and Agent Smith is like, I don't want to be, you know, destroyed. I
Yeah.
want to just be free.
I mean,
And-
we even see that in 4, which we're going to talk about. There's like a civil war. You know, before the Civil War, all these machines were just listening to whoever the leader was because they're like, oh, this is our objective, you know?
Mhm.
And to them, it's like, okay, then that's what we're supposed to do. This is good. But then to the humans, it's like, okay, we don't want them to do that because then that's the end of us. So it's, you know, it's just a war. You know, when you go to war,
Tell
there's
us
not
about
really
war.
any winners or losers. There is a winner, but a lot of losers at the same time.
There's a lot of losers.
And in that whole war against the machines, it's
I don't appreciate you guys calling warriors losers.
well,
They're not losers, dude.
I don't know.
Okay, I got you.
Just
I got you.
messing around.
I was like,
I don't know.
Wait, no, I'm just joking. No.
They
People
lost.
Did lost.
They
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
They lost.
A lot of
No, for
lives.
real.
They lost
They
more
lost.
than the war.
Yeah, no.
no, it's with the third movie. Oh, sorry. go
No,
ahead.
no.
I was just gonna say like thinking more about Agent Smith and what he was doing. I mean, the reason
It's
why
so confusing.
the reason why Neo even wanted, he just kept getting visions of the Machine City, and Agent Smith was getting out of control. So he kind of was the virus. You know, it was just like,
yeah,
so
he
Ne-
started becoming the virus.
yeah,
like
Neo
spreading.
was like, damn, like if I would have reset the Matrix before and not saved Trinity, we wouldn't have this virus. But now that I saved Trinity, we have this virus, and we got to figure out a way to stop him.
Right.
It's so funny. Neil's like, man, this guy is annoying. How do I get rid of him? Let me go to his superior and tell him that this guy's got.
Pretty much, I'm going to your boss. He
Yeah.
pulled a Karen and was like, all right, I'm gonna go to your
Let me
boss.
see your manager.
Yeah, and talk to him and basically said,
This guy made me blind. Look at this. Do
right.
you see what happened?
make a
I
truce. Yeah, he basically said, make a truce with us. You know, stop destroying Zion, or else Agent Smith is going to destroy both humans and machines.
Right.
Mhm. Which
And-
was his ultimate objective.
But again, all of that stuff was for no reason. Like that guy in that room with Neo, I keep coming back to because he literally explains everything that's happening outside of the Matrix and outside of Zion and all that stuff. He's like, this is the 6th iteration. Like we've done this 6 times. We've destroyed Zion 6 times and we're getting quite good at it. He says some shit like that. To me, I'm like, that makes all of that other stuff null and void, right? This
Yeah.
is only about Neo getting that code back to the source.
Mhm. And I think that that's another kind of commentary on humanity of we've had civilization after civilization after civilization over and over again. All of it's been destroyed. And now we're in this modern times and we're still trying to do what's right and love who we can love. And he's just kind of saying like, y'all are doomed anyway. Like something's going to happen where we destroy ourselves or someone destroys us, and then we're going to start again. So what's the point? And I think that's like that,
God, I did
that
not take that
extreme
nihilistic of a
pessimism.
message from that at all.
No?
No, he resets he gets inserted again, and the babyface thing talks to him.
Yeah, baby face.
And
He's a
then-
baby, big boss baby.
Yeah, yeah, and
boss baby.
then he shows the Jesus cross, and then the movie ends, right?
Oh yeah, that was like I mean, there was a lot of religious
been saved.
references,
Yeah.
but that was like the biggest.
He was a
religious-
sacrifice.
Yeah, that was like straight iconic. Like that's a cross.
I was like,
Yeah.
okay, now.
yeah.
Yeah.
The one.
I get it.
The whole
You know?
sacrifice. And then, well, like when,
Well, you said it earlier with Agent Smith and Neo. They're like together. They're the one, and eventually.
that.
Oh yeah, you
Yeah, I
said
said
that.
I didn't use that
Eventually,
gesture you're using.
oh, like this
He
is.
said, "You know about it." When they just-
Well, eventually they merge.
plug.
You know what you
they
heard.
do merge. And
in the first movie, they merged.
No, in
Oh,
the
they
third
merged.
one.
They
Like they
merged.
like he's like, okay, I defeated Neo, but really he becomes Agent Smith and then destroys himself, and then that's like,
Because that's the
end of-
same thing he did in the first one. Like, you know,
Yeah,
Agent.
I did think that
Went
was
to-
weird. He like exploded him, and then all of a sudden he's just like, "I'm freed. You freed me." And it's just-
Yeah.
You freed me.
that was
was a
such an
little-
invincible type fight scene though.
Which one?
Before its time, that last
Think, Skywalker.
Agent
Think.
Smith and Neo fight scene.
I don't know. I
The
feel
one
like,
that with all of them.
yeah,
one
where
that
they're
flew
flying and
over.
everything. I just
Yeah,
feel like
very big.
I feel like that the tech wasn't there for what they really
No.
wanted out of that
Right.
fight scene.
Well, that's why they did
No,
the
I think it
Matrix
was
4.
good.
I mean, it started getting bad in the second movie when you had all the Smiths fighting Neo and
It's-
it turned off computer
That's hard work,
generated.
dude.
You know,
for sure.
hard work.
Totally.
You know how hard it is?
Totally.
You can't get that
I give him
many
an A for
agents.
effort.
It was a lot of agents.
I give him an A
That
for
whole
need-
city world was
You
like CG
need the
generated.
blue
Yeah.
screen for
Yeah.
that.
I
The
give him
blue screen.
absolute
The
A for
worst.
effort for sure.
The original, the first Matrix has green screen shots.
Hey,
That
what's
looks
it,
so rough.
can somebody clarify the difference between green and blue screen?
Green screen is green, blue screen's blue.
Yeah, both do the same thing.
It's true. That's literally the only difference.
But they used a lot of blue screens too. I guess they had blue
if they
stuff
need to do
around.
stuff with green in the scene, they use blue. If they
Yeah,
Okay, that makes sense.
I always felt
You should have
like
said that the first time.
both of the colors are unnatural pigments, so they don't occur in nature.
Hmm,
So you can key them out without affecting like skin tones and stuff.
Mm.
Okay.
But you still see the glare because in the first three movies, you
It's
definitely
gotten-
see that
It's gotten
green
so
tint.
much better.
You see the green
That's
tint in the first. Three. You
what are we
wanted
talking
that
about
in
the
four?
four? Dude.
No, yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
no,
Let's
we're
just get
gonna
into
get
it.
there. We're gonna
Yeah.
get there. We're gonna get there.
They're too
So
good
many
at
things
editing.
we're going-
All
We'll
right.
talk about
So so we can wrap up number 3. I felt like that it wrapped up the story. You had Trinity. She sacrificed herself.
Yeah.
Neo sacrificed himself.
Stupidly.
Zion was Zion. I know.
Listen,
She did.
He
do
said,
it stupidly.
"Don't go,
Yeah.
no matter what." She was like, "Okay," and then first thing
Love,
she
bro.
fucking did-
Choice. Choice. It's
Dumb.
all about choices.
Free
You
will.
know.
They took the Nebuchadnezzar there, didn't they?
The Lagos.
The Lagos.
She
Which is-
effectively
the
got
logos.
everyone's lives put in danger of.
Absolutely.
If she wouldn't, he gone, he wouldn't have
Facts.
had to make the stupid choice.
Yep.
Facts.
Fucking, God, women, dude.
Oh no.
Am I right, fellas?
Yeah,
Play the
gonna
crickets.
hold that.
Yeah, I'm gonna-
right there.
Let's have the Soundplay podcast out of Greek.
Yeah, but let's go ahead and give that a rating and then jump into 4.
7.5.
Give it like a 5.
Third.
7.
Not a big fan.
I'll probably give it a 7 again.
The one with your favorite fight scene.
Yeah,
I'll
Yeah,
give it a
that's
10
good one.
because I'm never gonna give a 7 to something with that our Lord's cross on it.
Lord's Cross.
Oh no.
It's a religious iconography. You guys give it a 7?
I gave it a 5.
I go to 7.
Wow.
Who's
5.
Jesus?
I'll take Jesus for real instead of Neo acting like
This
Jesus.
was Jesus for the masses. It was a story.
There's already a Jesus for the masses.
Yeah, really? Yeah. And his name's not Neo. His name is
Or
Jesus.
Keanu Reeves. But yeah, it was cool. And I mean, like you said, like the first one ended with him flying off,
Mhm.
and that was it. And then they didn't need a sequel. And then the third one is like, okay, now it's over.
Now they really don't need a sequel.
but there's,
What did they do 18
re-
years later?
Now,
a requel
now what
is what.
is that? What they're coining it?
No.
A requel?
No.
Calling it?
Oh my!
You
I'll
never
never
heard of
say that.
Oh,
I'll
you
never
guys
say
haven't
that.
seen Scream then.
Oh,
No.
okay. That's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
no,
That's
yeah,
where
the
they
new
coin
Scream
it.
talks about it. It's not a sequel or a prequel. It's a
A reboot.
requel.
That's
Yeah.
They're
ridiculous.
like a remake,
It's like a
but it's a
reboot
sequel.
sequel.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
With
don't like that at
legacy
all.
characters.
Mm-mm. Nope, don't like that.
I like the new one.
So no, we're gonna get into your
Yeah.
Oh,
your-
So,
yeah,
yeah, so
synopsis.
last
There-
synopsis.
So now we're wait.
Hold on.
Before I say that, I will say that the Wachowskis said multiple times that they will not make another Matrix. They said we're not going to do it. We're not going to do another Matrix. Warner Brothers was like, you got to do another one. It's a good IP, can make money. They were like, nah, we're not going to do it. They even reached out to another writer named, I think his name is Zach Penn, to write a screenplay for
That'd have been
Matrix
terrible.
4.
Okay.
Destined to be
And-
a writer.
Right?
Zach Penn. Two
and
ends.
and so I feel like that they were that their hand was a little forced. Like they were basically saying, we're gonna put out this movie because we own the IP regardless. And we're
regardless.
and you either get on board, we've given you 18 years, we're gonna do it,
Right.
And
with you or without you.
I think Lana just said, if I'm not gonna let it go down like that, I got to be
Yeah,
involved
might
in
as
at least control it. And I feel like Lily, her sister, decided like, nah, I'm not trying to do it. I'm gonna stand by what I said, but I support you and what you're doing. So just wanted to put that out there before we get.
Do you think
I
if
like
she
that.
joined,
into the movie.
there would be a lot more added to it? Or you think?
Yeah,
what was
I think
added
both of
was
them
like-
together make the movie as good as what it is. I
they're
think.
literally Neo and Agent Smith.
Sure.
Put them together.
Or Neo and
It's the
Trinity.
one.
One's trying to kill the other one.
No, they're probably both. They're both Trinity.
Lana
Yeah.
is like the more
There you go.
prevalent one, though, right? She like does more of the stuff.
Well, I mean, if she's
don't
the
know, maybe out
one
there more.
that was like the jump back in, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
So makes
I'm
sense.
saying if you Google the Wachowskis, her name comes up first.
Mm.
There you go.
I wonder how that goes down on Thanksgiving.
They don't celebrate Thanksgiving, bro.
Who celebrates
What do you mean, bro? The
Thanksgiving?
way you know how they celebrate Thanksgiving, they plug in and eat that fake steak. That's all they do.
It's fake turkey.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. Wait,
fourth
synopsis.
one.
All
Come
right,
on.
cool. Synopsis. Matrix
Synopsis.
4, Matrix Resurrections. To find out if his reality is a physical or mental construct, Mr. Anderson, aka Neo, will have to choose to follow the White Rabbit once more. If he's learned anything, it's that choice, while an illusion, is still the only way out of or into the Matrix. Neo already knows what he has to do, but what he doesn't yet know is that the Matrix is stronger, more secure, and far more dangerous than ever before.
With Neil Patrick Harris.
Yep.
Hey, man.
All right.
I kind of like them.
All right. Kick
Good-
it off, guys.
Look,
Kick it
man.
off.
Doogie Howser, MD. Doogie Howser, MD controls the Matrix.
I like that the intro was trash. A nod. The intro was a nod to the first Matrix.
The whole movie was a nod to the first Matrix.
Yeah, I
It
guess it
was
was
a
kind of like
requel.
it was a requel for sure, like
All
a
of a sudden-
reboot sequel.
all of a
Now,
sudden.
I've heard that it was a statement
sense.
on reboot culture in general and like what we're doing.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give him that much credit.
Nope.
I've heard that.
No.
What the deal was.
It makes sense because I mean, even in Scream, they do the same exact thing.
Catrix.
Catrix, is that what he said?
You guys watch
do you
that
know?
thing at the end of the movie?
No.
After the credits, those guys who were like in the boardroom, they like pitch another idea about the Catrix because cats are in.
Mhm.
So I'm like, that kind of stuff to me is like, I'm like, there's no way that they're
Mhm.
serious about this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
It's
the
not serious.
movie,
It was
the
a joke.
movie
It was
for
jokes.
sure
The movie
did not
felt-
take itself serious.
It felt disrespectful.
I know what you mean.
Mhm.
I know what you mean.
It felt very
Because
know
I
what
disrespectful.
you
did feel that a
mean.
little bit. I felt like I was being insulted for being a fan.
Listen, brother, listen, brother.
Like
Yeah.
the part when new Morpheus, cool Morpheus, he was like,
Corpheus.
Corpheus.
he was like repeating his
Corpheus.
lines from the thing and blah blah blah. That's-
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
he said it
Yeah.
like that.
See,
Well,
I don't
I was
like,
like,
I don't like when the director talks to me through the dialogue based on like their opinions. Like that
I
really,
do.
I hate
like when
that,
the French
man.
guy came back. That was
Yeah.
them
Oh, yeah.
directly speaking to us
Yes.
and saying
Uh-huh.
like this shit,
Well,
this stuff is trash.
It reminds me of The Last Jedi. You know, I'm a Star Wars fan. So with The Last Jedi,
I didn't watch
you know, they were basically shitting on all of the Star Wars lore and, you know, Adam Driver's character, which I can't think of the name, Kylo Ren, was, you know, saying like, get rid of the past, like forget about it, like all this other stuff because we, you know, as Star Wars fans care about the lore that's there. And it just felt disrespectful. It was like,
I
fam.
get it, but also being a really like we're having a Matrix podcast
Yeah.
right now. The people who made the Matrix probably like you know how many times they've heard people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
Yeah.
yeah. I feel it.
Like I could imagine after 20 years of people telling me I need to
Bullet time. Bullet time.
exactly
Bullet
exactly.
time.
So
Thunderbolt.
so there is probably an element of like an FU or like
Mm.
you're gonna force us to make this movie, then I'm going to
Oh, yeah,
I'm
for
gonna
sure.
make you eat the cake, kind of a thing. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
this is what you asked for, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
This is what you wanted? No? Oh, well, too bad. Here it is.
Well, they did
Mhm.
not make back their budget.
Oh,
At all.
definitely not.
That's
No,
fine. But they're still going to have.
It's not the time for that.
Yeah.
This is true, but I hope that you know,
Especially
for-
in the
for-
streaming age now.
well, just
too.
for companies who care about the bottom line. You know, they were like, oh, you know, it's gonna sell. We'll make this next movie, and it's like, well, it didn't sell. so
Netflix
now
and
what?
HBO and all these places need to show their stream numbers. They need to show how many views of these videos are
Yeah,
getting.
I'm
'Cause
with
I
you on
was
that
going-
because I don't believe Netflix.
I don't even know what do they. Oh,
So,
they
so
don't
just to
have
share to
the
give you, in case you didn't hear, like one of the last streaming wars that we did. Sorry, I
It's
put my
okay.
hand kind of close.
Yeah,
Um,
you reached out to me.
listen, Skywalker praises Netflix for having the highest amount of numbers, but
Yeah.
what me and Norik believe is that
I mean, they've been around for a while. So
Streaming farms.
streaming farms. So like
It's definitely a
there's
thing.
streaming farms for music. So why can't there
Yeah.
be streaming farms
There
for
is.
For streaming.
subscription based streaming
sure.
services?
Yeah.
It exists.
yeah.
So
So
Netflix-
yes,
Netflix
show your
still
numbers,
has more.
Netflix.
yeah, show your numbers. Yeah, I just don't think.
But
I
are they showing
personally-
their numbers like that?
Usually they do like end of the year,
Yeah.
like their
30
their
million
top
movies
their
were,
growth.
were streamed on our website, kind of a thing.
something like, or they'll show like their top 10 and how many streams they had in the top 10. But it's like no one is making that top 10 for them. They're putting it out.
Right.
So anybody, they can say whatever numbers they
And
want.
it's not showing all the zeros that no one watches
Exactly.
the movies
Yeah,
that nobody
pretty much.
watches.
Or at what time does it count as a watch? Is it like as soon as you click on it, or is it
As
30
for,
minutes into
exactly.
it? Whatever.
As for streaming, if you listen to less than one song, it doesn't count as a play. Did you know that?
Less
If you-
than
what
less
do-
than
what
Like
do
one
you-
if
minute.
you stream a song,
Uh-huh.
if it's less than a certain amount of time, it doesn't count as a play.
Oh,
So I'm assuming that's the same thing to do with movies.
Oh yeah, got you. Yeah, so I was watching the movie. I went to the theater. I was hyped,
Mhm.
because we've been talking about
Right.
Matrix
I kind of had lower
Resurrections.
expectations.
I mean, I was hyped for how hype you can be. I mean, we know that we're in COVID. We know that the movie got pushed back a bunch of times. It was filmed at the same time as John Wick, so Neo looked
was-
like John Wick / Jesus, and
It was actually supposed to come out same day.
I think
Yeah.
that was intentional,
Both of
right?
them.
which I thought was a cool like marketing ploy of just like, all right, let's watch both Keanu Reeves movies. Like I
Right.
feel them, but it didn't. They care
never-
more
yeah,
about
it
John
never
Wick
had.
than they do
Yeah.
about.
I've
Matrix
never
Resurrections.
watched John Wick.
Hmm.
And
Ooh,
my
you're
friends
missing out.
give me I get
pretty
guff
good.
about it all
It's
the
okay.
time.
It's like Matrix without.
I've heard that
Cyber
there's
world.
ties between the universes. That Neo is John Wick, and John Wick is Neo.
I
in
wouldn't
some
be
weird
surprised if they
ways.
tie it. I mean, Lawrence Fishburne is in,
Yeah, he's in it,
John
yeah.
Wick 2.
Okay.
So like there are some
Ties.
ties to it. So I could see that.
I don't know. I shouldn't have even brought it up because I don't know the movie enough to
Yeah,
be
no.
like it was this and this and this. But
No, you should definitely watch it though. Like,
I'm going to.
it's worth it.
That'll be
It's on my list.
for sure.
next time you come back. One of the next times you come back, and when the new John Wick comes out, we should definitely do that and compare the two.
Yeah,
Which-
that'd be cool.
They're
I don't
making a new
even-
one.
Yeah, I don't even think it comes out this year.
It,
though.
it got pushed
No,
back.
it got
to next
pushed.
year.
That
It
gives
got
me
pushed
time.
back.
I got a lot of stuff to
Yeah,
watch.
For sure.
Yeah, no, you're good.
And it's the third, or it's the third.
It's gonna
or
be the
fourth
third one.
It's the third one, right? Okay. Yeah. So this movie,
I like.
I was hyped. I went to the theater, and I don't know. It just it started going, and I was kind of rolling with it, and I ended up falling asleep, man. And
Damn.
I know that if a
How much
movie
you-
puts me to
How much
sleep,
So
did
you
you
didn't give it a
spend to go to
chance.
sleep?
huh?
Yeah,
How
you.
much did you
I
spend?
spent $15 to go to
Oh.
sleep, and I was really upset.
You know, it's all good, man. My dad, he's famously known to go to movies just to sleep.
Yeah, didn't he fall
I don't
asleep
care.
during No
I
Way
spent
Home?
the money.
Skywalker was there next to me. My dad was next to me. It was me, then Skywalker, and Skywalker's like, "Is your dad asleep?" Halfway
Because
through
the
Spider-Man.
movie was
Trash!
That's why.
It's trash.
It's easy. It's easy to sleep during something like that.
I think it was just long.
No, it had
You didn't
nothing to
watch it?
do with the length. I did watch it.
But you fell asleep.
I fell asleep during one part. Now I watched it again because I watched it on HBO Max.
Yeah, that's
But-
what I
Okay,
did
okay,
as well.
Now I will say, and I'll give it some credit, is that I fell asleep during a part that explained the movie. Like it was during
the-
the slow mo part when Neil Patrick Harris was trying to stop them from like touching.
Got it.
So I
Okay.
fell asleep during that time and then woke up, and Sati is like now
Older.
older, which it's supposed to take place
key
60
to-
years after, but she's like 30.
which is
She's
hilarious.
a computer program.
Yeah, she's a computer program, so she doesn't
Yeah.
really age.
Okay.
Come on, bro.
All right. Okay.
Yeah,
And
because
somehow she morphed
because she
into-
doesn't even show up in the real world when they're saving Trinity. She's like,
She's fake.
yeah, she's fake. She's like a.
She
what do
somehow
you call
morphed
her?
into Nick
A
Jonas'
model.
wife.
Antivirus.
Is that what they said? They called them like
What
models
was-
or something
no,
like that.
I
She's, she's
totally-
like a program.
Yeah, yeah. But
Code.
she was like a.
She was like a Cortana.
I don't even know.
I
yeah,
just-
like that.
Yeah, I
for-
didn't-
hologram.
I didn't really
There you
like.
go.
Now the intro was him at the gaming spot, right, where they were like trying to figure out a sequel for the Matrix. That was like the
Yeah,
beginning.
first scene, yeah.
the
the
first
the,
scene.
He's in his office.
company.
and
Yeah,
something like that,
it just kind of put me off with the dialogue of
Actually,
them.
the first scene was a remake. Like he was running. It was like replaying the literal first
Yeah, the Trinity,
Trinity's opening scene.
but
of
then
the
Trinity
original
gets
Matrix.
caught. It's
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah,
same
but it's
but
like
different, which is
Gotcha.
what a
It got
requel is.
recoded.
You know, it's
No, it was
same, but
recoded, bro.
different.
He was recoding.
It's not rewritten.
different.
It's recoded.
Yeah,
That's just what they said in the movie.
yeah. Well, and that's the thing.
He's
Like with the
running
whole
through-
modal thing with him creating
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Morpheus and
which
putting
wasn't
Agent
clearly
Smith-
explained at all.
Right.
The
Yeah, it was.
modal.
They kind of do that in the Matrix. They'll just throw out
He
some
just-
technological jargon.
yeah,
and
I
kinda
think he
brush over
just
it.
subconsciously.
It wasn't the point, bro. The point's love.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, he just subconsciously wanted to get out of the Matrix. He knew he wanted to do it, but he didn't know he was in it again. So he kind of created this program that would eventually maybe break out and help him break out.
I get that. I feel like that the movie was microwaved while the trilogy was a gourmet. You know, it was cooked. It was
You're not
it was marinated.
wrong.
It was like
Yeah,
and
no.
this one was just like this.
sautéed.
This was just like a hot
But you gotta
pocket
think about
that they
other
threw
stuff.
in.
They make movies different now. Like they're not looking to make movies that are like go ahead guys, take all the time you need. Blah blah blah. Like they need
No.
money because they've been struggling for a
Yeah.
couple years.
Tell
I
them
understand. I was just
Especially
really
Warner Bros.
ashamed that they used the Matrix to do that.
Right.
I felt like that the Matrix deserved better
You
than
must
that.
not know Warner
It was
Brothers.
the perfect movie to
Welcome
use.
to the
I
WB.
You know,
I mean, they even trash
their
talk
perspective.
themselves
Yeah.
in the movie.
that's what I'm saying. They trashed Warner Brothers.
Yeah,
the
in the
This
movie
was
in the
Warner
movie he's like,
Brothers'
oh,
trash.
they want a sequel to the original trilogy, and even Keanu is like, what? Like, why? Why do we need that? You know?
Well, it just reminded me of Free Guy.
Mhm.
You
I
know,
didn't
have you
watch
ever?
it.
Okay,
Fourth
well,
wall.
surprisingly, it's a good
Ryan
it's a good
Reynolds?
movie. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like
It was a
it
great
had a lot
movie.
more heart than you think it does. You thought it was just like a
Is he still
Ryan
playing
Reynolds.
the same guy?
yeah,
That that
Yeah.
Deadpool character?
yeah, it's Deadpool character, but just like a nerd Deadpool character.
Mhm.
That works at a
Um,
bank.
Yeah, less aware.
I liked Waiting
Yeah.
with Ryan Reynolds.
Oh,
The first
okay.
time
Waiting's
he
a great movie.
was that character.
Yeah. No, I know. what
That's
you're
the
talking
original
about.
Deadpool.
That's
I don't even
the
think
that's
that
the
was the first
diner
time,
movie,
honestly.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Back to the movie.
The fact that we sidetrack on this movie so much just tells me how trash this is.
It's trash. You know, it's not trash. It's not trash. I thought it was good. I thought it was missing a few things that were really important for the
Heart.
first movies.
Yes.
hard.
Heart.
No, well, like Heart was like at the center of the movie, but it just didn't convey it all that
Right.
great. And I didn't like the person who played Agent Smith again.
Oh,
Mm.
yeah.
Like all of a sudden, like it just triggered in him, and he saw the pistol and was like, "Oh, I remember this life."
Yeah,
thought it
because
was-
Agent Smith was like
Weird choice.
kind of like Neo, you know.
Anderson.
Yeah, I no, I agree. I did not like who
What's his name?
chose
Jonathan
him,
Groff?
but I get it. You know,
There was a few
is
things that were
reskinned. You know, like
And the
Everybody's
combination,
risking
like
upgrades.
them combining, like people that we know to create the new version of that person. I just
like what?
like
Like
how
Morpheus?
how Jessica Henwick was like a combination of Trinity and
Who?
Jessica Henwick's character Bugs.
Bugs.
Ah,
The blue hair.
Bugs was
Got it.
kind of like
It's hilarious,
Neo
isn't
and Trinity put together.
It's
Got
it's
it.
hilarious.
Kinda,
Her name
and
was
then-
Bugs, and she was the White Rabbit.
I mean, something like that. I just don't think that it's
I didn't even make that connection.
really.
Yeah.
Oh, that was like the first thing that I
didn't
that
even
made
get
me
it.
like cringe.
I thought
it
of
was
like
just a little
bugs
cringy.
in a computer.
No,
No,
Well, it's
Bugs-
that
computer
too.
context.
Bugs Bunny, which is also owned by Warner Bros.
Welcome to the
That-
WB.
it's a triple entendre.
Come on,
They're
that's
really
good writing.
It's like
like
her
a-
barring out.
It's
That's a good writing right there.
This is probably my favorite part of the
I
movie.
know, yeah. the writing is it's clever.
That was
but
at least a good name.
yeah, it's clever,
Touched
but
a lot of.
it's kind of corny. But
It's
also, when you look past the corniness,
you
Come on,
can't look
we're
past
talking about
the
the
corniness.
Matrix.
you
They
could
were
How?
dressing in leather,
You
and
can't.
But the Matrix
Yeah.
was never corny.
are you kidding me?
It was never corny, bro.
goth-
You can't
The
sit here and
Matrix
tell me
is
that it
like-
was corny.
If you were standing in an elevator, and all of a sudden 5 fucking people walk in,
I'd be
and
terrified.
dipped in leather.
I'd be terrified.
Dipped in
You're
leather.
like, you're gonna be like, is that
Bro,
Rob
I
Zombie?
see
You
people-
guys
Now,
listening to
now
Rob
in the
Zombie?
90s, I wouldn't.
Oh,
Now
no,
I
don't-
would.
I see people with leather. Yeah, I see people
Leather
with
jackets
leather
were
coats.
in.
Yeah. I don't know if you
No,
know,
no.
but leather's back in.
It probably is.
Leather,
90s.
pleather,
Not trench
all of
coats.
it.
I'd say that.
Yeah,
don't
I
know.
would feel awkward.
I don't know.
Everyone's like,
I just I never got corny from The Matrix ever.
really?
This one, corny,
Welcome to
corn.
the WB.
I think it goes back to
It was
our
maximum
generation.
corn.
It
Maximum
was
corn.
the movie was a reflection of our generation.
How so?
And that's the
Skywalker?
sad part.
I mean,
Well,
I don't
yeah.
know what you're saying, why you're saying that, but I mean, we grew up in one of the corniest times there was.
That's true. The 90s. The 90s
For
were
sure. Everyone
extremely
acts like the
corny.
90s were super cool and stuff.
No,
but
no,
they
it was not.
weren't.
It
They
was
were
not.
No, but
corny as
yeah,
shit.
but
Was-
like
was
the
not.
Matrix
Super
4,
corny. Yeah.
the Matrix 4 is a reflection of
But the
us
Matrix
being-
wasn't corny though.
us
pretty
being
Matrix
on the
was not corny.
phone, going to coffee shops and
Coffee shop.
Like, if we put on the
being
movie...
nerdy.
What was the name of the coffee shop?
Simulate.
Oh gosh.
Trash!
It is actually kind of
That's a-
fire though.
Yeah,
Hey,
it was a
reverse
good movie.
orangutan. You got to
That-
run for your money.
And that too, they kind of in the Matrix, everybody around knew that the Matrix was a thing because of the video game to them. So when you tell somebody, "Oh, you're in the Matrix," it's like, "Oh, like the video game? Yeah, whatever." So they kind of brush it aside.
Well, it's
That
the
was all
trope.
curated. It was all curated from Neo and
Yeah.
Trinity.
Right.
Mhm.
I mean, I get that. And like the trope is that if we tell you, like if we tell you what you're in, you're not going to believe what you're in. Therefore, we can keep you in what you're in.
Mhm.
And I just feel like that's stupid. Like that's
You just made it make
Well,
sense, though.
Yeah, but that was
But
that was the only way to keep Neo in check.
sick of you.
And the only reason he was able to get out was because Bugs found his modal and
His modal.
was able to somehow get this Morpheus out of that modal into
I pronounce it model.
They pronounced it modal.
I know, I'm just
you
messing
know?
around. I'm
But
sure they're
Yeah,
different.
no,
one
no, no.
one
Sure
thing
they're
I will
different.
say
is it
I
is
don't
it spelled
know.
model or
Is-
is it modal? Like
You
I-
with that like
A?
old school fuck you right now? You're like,
I feel like the movie
Yeah.
That was scratching.
honestly, I feel like the movie would have been more interesting outside of the Matrix.
It was
Because with IO
When
and
it
like
did.
the machines like coming together,
right.
I would have loved to see more of that and what's going on there
Right.
than seeing him in the Matrix, like their story. Now, is it going to get a sequel? Probably.
yes, it will.
It will, even though they didn't make the money. They're
What
gonna,
would
they're
be
gonna
a
make
good
another one
name
because they
for
have
the
to
next
because it was
one?
trash, and
I
they
think
have
they
to
just
make it
skipped-
make sense.
they just skipped a bunch of stuff that didn't make sense to us. Like the viewer, the casual viewer doesn't know that Morpheus died
Mhm.
IRL.
Yep.
Yeah,
The casual viewer doesn't know all kinds of random little things.
Yeah, because the last time we saw Morpheus, he was alive.
the last time we saw Morpheus, he was alive.
yeah, and then they just showed a statue, but that doesn't necessarily mean they died.
Yeah, you don't realize he got killed by a program in the Matrix.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like they kind of make it seem like he
Which was
died in-
one of the questions I had. Like, why do they have a different Morpheus?
Yeah.
He,
you know,
he died
and-
in a video game.
yeah, and then when I saw the movie, it actually made sense. I thought the whole reboot was gonna be like not attached to the trilogy.
Hmm.
That off seeing the trailer because it was so confusing.
So another thing I didn't think of right now is that the Matrix was a video game.
Mhm.
Like those video games are canon.
Mhm.
So like in the movies, they're calling the Matrix a video game. Like it was, right?
yeah,
Right.
And when they're in the Matrix, isn't that kind of like a video game?
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. I mean, all the
Pretty much.
superhero type fighting
Mhm.
and bullet time and stuff like that.
I just feel like
Choose your player.
Yeah. I mean, it just they simplified. They took such a big idea, and then they just simplified it to like make it not mean anything anymore. And I feel like that's why I really didn't like it, because watching this Matrix made the other Matrices not mean anything. Like it was just kind of like, oh, all right, well,
Well, it kind of goes back to what that guy in the room was saying. It's like it doesn't matter what you do. Eventually, we're just going to try to wipe you out again. And the same thing happened after Neo went to Machine City and called a truce. Pretty much, here comes Neil Patrick Harris and was like, "Whoa, we can actually use these two for the energy that we really need." And they ended up figuring it out and had to pretty much because they were dead. Both of them were dead.
I don't
and they
think
had to
that
bring 'em
was
back.
something that was never there before. Like Neo comes back alive in the hallway in the first movie when Trinity kisses him.
mhm.
Like their love being the thing,
And he
She's the one
revived
that's
her,
like-
but
exactly,
after,
right in the
she
second
got-
movie.
Yeah, after she
Yep.
got shot.
and she even says, "I guess we're even now."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She's the one that's being like, "Get up," and like all that, and like kind of controlling him in the Matrix.
But like in the third movie, she got impaled. Like it was a wrap. It was a wrap
Mhm.
for
And he
her.
got blinded.
Yeah.
Sure.
No, yeah, they were dead.
But
for
I
sure.
just don't know why she came back.
They saved her.
They saved her.
Neil
They-
Patrick Harris explains that.
They rebuilt their bodies and then put them in the pods.
How did they so the machines rebuilt their
yeah,
bodies?
they're
because they
So
wanted
they're
them
cyborgs.
ultimate advanced.
No,
or is it way too advanced where they can like
No idea.
remake tissue and
Yeah, I
and
think
blood
it's
and
the
all that?
the remake the
They
tissue.
rebuilt strawberries based off of what people thought strawberries were in the
Yeah.
Matrix. they were able to recreate strawberries in the real world outside of the Matrix.
Mhm.
Supposedly outside of the Matrix. Some people say there's
They're
no
all
outside of the Matrix.
there is no outside of the Matrix. It seems like that.
The red pill, the blue pill are a lie.
Yeah, it's all
It's
an
interesting.
illusion.
I felt like that there was no need for the red pill, and blue pill. Like
It was just, yeah, you're right, because even Bug said it. Like it doesn't
doesn't
matter
matter.
about the pill. You already know what you want to do.
Right.
and they just really they microwave.
It's kinda like
the
opening a door
choices
for
that
you.
you're making.
Honestly, story-wise aside, I think everything they did was fine. Like, I don't have any issues with any of the decisions they made. Maybe some of the VFX, but like,
Mhm.
for instance, like the way that Neil Patrick Harris moved.
Neil Patrick.
Wow.
I like it. I like
the
it.
way that Neil
Matrix.
Patrick Harris moved as like when he was in the bullet time thing. Like
Mhm.
we've seen agents
Yeah.
move and they didn't look the same way.
hmm
So that was a little weird, but then I guess they explained it with like the whole updating because they were like, we don't do wires anymore, like on the
Yeah.
phone.
Yeah,
It's
He's like,
Bluetooth.
It's
Which
Wi-Fi
they go-
now.
they
Something
go
they
through-
should have done in the first.
And they go
movie.
through mirrors.
Like, what's the
now.
deal with needing a hard line?
Sure. I mean, well, it's because you needed a
3,000
hard
years
line.
in the future, though.
Yeah, but they didn't.
Wi-Fi existed for them. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but it didn't exist for us.
Yeah.
So we were like, wait, no, we still need a hard line.
there was limitations
Yeah,
at
yeah.
the time, which makes sense.
Yeah,
but
now there's an Oculus.
But they still had
Yeah.
wireless phones. Like that phone
Oh,
Yeah, the
Neo
little
gets
satellite
is
ones.
fucking awesome.
But you
Still to
couldn't-
this day,
but
I
you
think it's a cool
couldn't-
phone.
Yeah, it
yeah,
was
but
dope.
yeah,
Super cool
but
phone.
yeah, but they got exposed to 3G or 5G or which one is it? No?
Man,
well, one of the you're on a roll, man. One of the things has nothing to do with the story, has nothing to do with anything. The green tint is gone.
I beg to differ. I think that has a lot to do with this story.
You think
That
so?
yeah, that told us that we were in the Matrix. Like everything's coded in that green code, so like that green tinges on everything.
Mhm.
But in the new one, it's not. It's like in ultra high definition.
Yeah. Is the
Yeah,
green tint
because we
not
don't-
because
It's gone.
of
The
the green
computer's
screen?
gone.
No, it's HD, bro.
No, the
we're
green
we're in
tinge is
we're
not
in
from green
OLED. We're in the OLED matrix right now.
Exactly. The
We're
green tinge
in
was an intentional
4K.
choice.
Okay.
It was a coloring choice to show you that you were in this coded green and
Which
Yeah,
was
the
great.
Matrix.
It
You were
was
in the
it was
Matrix.
it was an
awesome choice.
It was
Yes.
well thought
looks
out.
amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Loved it. I think
Fantastic.
again, I think the first one holds up greatly. I watched it yesterday.
Yeah.
I was
No, yeah.
impressed.
I agree.
At the end, I was like, "Wow!" My lady was like scrolling on her phone the whole time, and I'm like, "You are missing bangers." I think that's the thing about the fourth one that I think is really missing, which is the first two. Really, the third one, I'm not exactly sure because I haven't watched it yet.
I haven't watched the third one in a while. So
It's been
I
a
feel
little
you.
while for me, but the first two are dipped in philosophical
Mm.
quotes.
yes.
I recently
like-
saw the third one fully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it
This
has
one
the
felt
same
like-
kind of philosophical. Like,
No, it
just-
felt like Twitter.
Mm.
It felt like I was watching Twitter. Like Twitter made the movie. Like
Yeah.
that. Like that's where
Yeah.
they got
If
the
you want to
Like it was
say
a
that,
Twitter
if
thread
you
of
want to
his
say that, I feel like
scripts.
that about the first one. Like they literally say very basic philosophical things.
I know, but at least it's based off of
I
like
can only
literature
I can
and
only
like
show you the door. You have to walk through it.
yeah, but it's that's like literary like concepts, and I feel like this one was like retweet, subtweet, whatever.
Probably
You
true,
know what I
yeah.
mean? Like
It kind of has to be for
Repost.
today's audience, though. Dude.
Yeah.
it
Does that-
doesn't have to be. That was
It
that was.
does.
I felt like it didn't have. This is the movie and the IP that didn't have to do that
I
because
just
people who
think-
watched it knew the level of like what we were getting into.
The
And-
what the fuck type.
Yeah, and they
I feel
just
like our
stooped
generation
down.
of people are like the last of the people who are willing to put
This
in
is
some
true.
hours.
This is true.
Facts.
Dude, I talked to people that still don't understand Tenet, and I'm just like, how do you not?
I never
I still
watched it.
people. I know people that say Tenet
Not
was
a fan?
trash because
Nah, I just didn't see it.
Oh, you
I
like it?
love
you,
the
you
director.
Would, you would love
Yeah,
it.
yeah, you like it. You like it.
Chris Nolan,
It's
right?
good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll
He
be
did a good
excused.
job. It was
now,
great.
now I want
Great
to.
movie.
I want to have a
That's a
segment called
rewatch.
Veow reacts.
Yeah. Oh, so that was a question I was gonna ask. Did you go see this in theaters?
No, I watched it the other day in my
Okay.
office.
So I watched
4.
it at
Matrix 4.
home.
Matrix 4.
I watched Matrix 4 at home after I watched it at theaters, and I enjoyed it more watching it at home. And I should have watched it at
Because you
home in
didn't
the
pay
first
for your
place.
nap.
Because I didn't pay for my nap.
And you didn't fall asleep.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't fall asleep for like the whole movie. It was literally just for that scene. But I think watching it again, like I was so baffled the first time, like of what
I
they
know
were
what-
doing.
What you're saying.
Yeah.
You know, I was
I
just
understand
like,
what
I
you're saying.
can't believe what they're doing to this.
Yeah.
That once I saw it in the second time, I already internalized that it was
Trash.
and I was just kind of like, all right, you know, I'll watch it. And in watching it, I understood, okay, this is what they're doing. I get it. Seventh iteration of the Matrix. They're kind of going through the first 3 movies in this one movie again.
I mean, they have to make up for 20 years of missed time.
Yeah.
Some people were 6 when it came out.
It should have been a show. Turn it into a show.
Absolutely not.
Bro, turn it
No.
into
They
a
were.
show, bro.
They
An
were
HBO
going
an HBO
to.
Max series would have been great.
Oh, you're wrong.
No.
What?
Come on.
They
would
were.
have had. That means they would have taken the story you watched
Yeah.
and stretch it into 6-hour-long episodes. No
Yeah.
way. It would have been filled with so much bullshit conversations that talk about unnecessary.
Well,
No,
it shouldn't have been made in the first place. But I'm just saying, like,
disagree. I liked
to your
it.
point of the 20 years that they had to make up, if they would have turned it into a show, 18 years that they had to make up,
All of a
and if
sudden
they
you
would have
listen to
turned
me.
it into a show, then
I thought
it
you
would
went
have
by
been a little bit
times.
better. Just saying.
I don't think
Yeah.
so. You didn't like the 1 hour and 40-minute version. You think you would have liked 5-hour-long installments?
Yeah.
Well, my hope would be is that they're able to flesh out what I saw on the 140. We could have got a full
That's not what
episode
happens.
of IO and all of the explanation, all going through the city, which would have been dope.
No,
I
it would have
didn't
been
really-
dialogue for the first 45 minutes and then a short action scene at the end of every episode.
See, I think
I think you're just a little biased towards
No,
the series
no.
turning into the new series
You can
format.
see- I mean,
it was
yeah,
actually
I am. I
it
don't
was
like
actually going to be a Netflix show, and then
Glad they didn't. do
obviously
that.
all that got canceled
Thank
because
goodness.
Warner Brothers got a hold of HBO Max, and they're like, let's just do a movie. So.
Thank God.
But
I hope they make another one.
no, they will.
They're going to. They have
Because-
to. And
because-
it's gonna make it's gonna make this one make even more sense.
gonna
And
be
they're-
I need your guys' educated guesses on what the next one's going to be called.
The Matrix.
Well, yeah,
Matrix
but
Revenge.
Matrix Resolutions.
I don't know. No, I don't think so.
'Cause it-
I can't even like.
Uh-huh.
I can't even.
It
I
could
begin
be,
to-
yeah.
Didn't guess.
I can't even begin
Yeah.
to.
Matrix
to guess.
Requiem.
I would have never.
What does Requiem mean? What does that mean?
I actually don't know.
I've seen
I
it
know
in like
Requiem.
Requiem
2
for a Dream.
movies.
But I know that
Fact
that it's a
checker?
movie. Fact check. What does Requiem mean?
It means
I like that
the
you guys got
name
him as your fact checker.
Requiem is, especially in the Roman Catholic Church, is a mass for the repose of the souls of the dead.
Oh,
So then it will be
Similar.
Matrix
What?
Requiem. Yeah.
Yo.
It's gonna be Matrix
or
Requiem
just
for
simpler,
sure.
just an act or a token of remembrance.
Okay.
Mm.
Remembering these are
But
all
going,
themes.
yeah,
not
going
a
back
bad
to what you're
guess.
saying, you
It
know,
might
you
be
want to
Matrix
see
Remembers.
you want to see more of IO. I feel like we'll see more of that in the next movie. We'll see more of
more what?
I would love a
IO,
show
the city.
about the Matrix
Ah.
without Neo. That's another thing too. Is that if they would have turned it into a show, they wouldn't have had to focus on Neo.
Yeah,
it
they
could
were-
have just been about anything.
They were
that
going
takes
to do
place
it
in
about the
Matrix.
I don't wanna see
children.
that.
They were going to do it about the children of Zion.
Oh,
That would have been
God.
dope.
Snooze fest. No,
Oh,
dude,
no.
we wanna
this
see
was
more-
a snooze fest.
No, we want to see. Okay, I get it. Yeah, sure. They had to explain love or whatever, but we wanted to see was Neo fighting.
Which I
Right?
didn't like the most of the fight
And
scenes
Phil-
in the movie.
The thing it missed,
You
it
know
was
what
missing
really-
to me was philosophical.
I'm gonna be
quotes,
super petty
basically.
here, but what really made
That's
me
all
mad
it is.
is that he looked like John Wick. Like I wanted,
No,
like
yeah,
him
bro.
having the long hair really pissed me off.
I was gonna-
just like,
I was
come
going to
on.
ask you
man.
guys.
All he had to do was shave.
That's it.
All he had to do was shave.
What was your guys' favorite fight scene in this movie?
I didn't
you
have
had to
one.
pick-
I can't even remember any of the
Yeah.
fight scenes that are there.
Honestly, I think it was probably the worst fight scene.
I only watched it once, bro, and that's when it came
Not
out.
memorable, not worst, but not
Absolutely
memorable.
the worst fight scenes for
I mean,
sure.
they had another dojo fight.
That
I
was
don't-
absolute trash. Oh,
because he wasn't actually Morpheus. It was what
I liked it.
Neo remembered
yeah, but
Morpheus was.
it doesn't matter like what they were talking about and like the moves that they were using. There was no umph to the. Do you remember the sound effect that they you just watched The Matrix? You remember the sound effect that they used when they were fighting in the kung fu fight? It felt impactful. It felt like, oh my goodness, like there's power behind
Talking
what's
about the
going
Foley?
on.
I don't remember
The
ever
Foley.
being like,
Talking
wow,
about all the
these
Foley
sound
sounds?
effects.
Yes.
Yeah, but these are the things that
The only thing
that
I really
add to
remember
it.
about that first dojo scene is that there's a scene where Morpheus' head is against a piece of wood that's not there in the wide shot.
You would notice that. But it's great.
Veow
Production
reacts.
wise.
Well,
hmm
the movie was.
I know what you're trying
I
to
mean,
do.
it happened.
No, that first dojo fight, that's my favorite fight scene in all the movies.
Yeah.
So how'd you feel with them trying to remake that?
I understood what they were trying to do.
I understand that.
They were just
but
walking us. They're walking us back.
But how did you feel about them
There
butchering
was some
it?
stuff I didn't think they butchered it.
You don't think that they butchered the dojo scene? Your
No.
favorite scene, you saw this and you're just like, yeah, that's good enough.
I mean, what did you? Am I like, oh, this is better than the original? No, the original's still my favorite.
No, nothing's gonna beat the original.
That's like
No,
gonna
it's not.
stop. That's like it.
I just feel like that there's some things that you don't touch, and they just were like, yeah, we're going to touch everything.
well, they
And-
didn't want to. Obviously, they didn't want to make the movie. I mean, the Wachowskis didn't want to make the movie, but
I don't know. Is that true? That sounds like some Hollywood.
yeah, I mean, I feel like
it was just on Wikipedia.
They
that
wanted
they
to
said
make
that
a
like
mo-
I think
They
they
would
would
have
have did it.
Says no to money.
I think they would have did it a long time ago.
because sometimes you care more about the
They
art
waited
than
4
the
years
money.
for the first one.
What?
Bro,
They
they're living
waited
off
years for
Oh,
the first one.
yeah. Well, I think that was just
the race for
because
money still. What do you mean?
you're waiting for technology to get better to make a better movie, and
That's
they
James Cameron
kind of
logic.
did. I mean, yeah,
But
He
they
went-
didn't know they didn't make a better movie. They didn't.
well, they thought it was going to be better.
What?
No, they didn't.
Yeah, they
Matrix?
did.
Who thought it was going to be?
I mean,
better?
Lily would have been involved if they thought it was going to be better. They
Wait,
would
who?
have done it sooner.
No, I'm talking
I
about
missed
the
what we're
2
talking
and
about.
3.
Oh, got you. Yes.
I don't think they were intending on. Were they supposed to be better? I thought they were just doing that thing that we were saying. That
I mean, you always want
fleshing
to,
it
as a
out,
director, you want to one up
I guess
the previous one, and you know, you don't want
Probably
people
right.
to leave like, oh, that was.
they did do big
underwhelming.
things.
Yeah, they did. I mean,
The
the budget
freeway,
went up, the
yeah,
freeway, yeah. All
The
that
budget.
stuff. But for, you know, all the technology was there, and it was a little underwhelming.
It's
but
changed. The technology has changed. Like everything's so computer based now. They didn't do like they're not building the freeway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No,
They built
they-
the freeway.
Yeah.
That's
How,
not
how'd you
happening
guys
now.
feel about the? I was a little shocked when they started using people as bombs in the Matrix and just like dropping them and like the way that they fell and exploded. Did you guys feel that it was a little insensitive?
No,
No.
they're programs.
No. It didn't look like that they were programs. It looked like it was people jumping out the window
Yeah, it's pretty
to
cool.
their death.
I thought it was cool.
Oh no!
It looked cool. It looked crazy.
It's like, honey, where are you going?
It was a little
Just like,
kamikaze.
uh,
It was a little. I mean, I don't know. It was kind of jarring. I was just like, oh wow, they're resorting to this.
Probably
you know?
what it was
That's
supposed
what
to
it
be.
seemed
Yeah,
like.
no, yeah.
Resorted.
I didn't take it as insensitive. I was just
No.
kind of like, like, this shit's different.
It was dope.
I think we're just
Whatever.
desensitized at this point. But one of the things I did catch in the movie is that, you know, Neo doesn't really have his powers no more in the Matrix because it's not the same Matrix. It's a whole different Matrix.
Yeah, bro,
that
Well,
was
he's not the
created.
one in
Rebooted.
this Matrix.
Yeah, bro. He has to get the DLC.
Facts.
Yeah.
Trinity's the
Trinity's
one in the
the one
Matrix.
now, which is really cool.
It was them together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is the reason why they wanted to.
Said
connect.
instead of having one person make a choice, it's probably more long lasting to have two people having to make the same choice.
Hmm.
Which I get that.
And she can fly. She can fly. Which was cool. And it ended off the same way as the first one did, flying into the screen. And
Yeah.
we're going to make our own world. We don't really need your permission. And
But even with that, like, where do you go with the second one? And they're like, all right, we're going to make our own world in the Matrix. But you've seen what it looks like in IO with machines and humans working together. So
Yeah.
why do you even need to go into the Matrix anymore?
Right.
well, there's still kind of like a Cold War, you know. Even Bugs said it like, we just got better at hiding from the machines.
Well,
And
the
the machines
humans
already
are still
called the
being
truce.
used, right?
yeah, there's still a lot of people
still
in
humans.
Oh,
pods.
the ones
that
that they
are
have.
freed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they said that we're going to spare Zion, though.
Well, I
Man, what a
mean,
bunch of selfish
now
bastards.
that Neo and Trinity are out, I don't think so. Because I mean,
That was part of the deal.
Yeah, but they broke free.
Yeah, they broke free.
They broke out of the.
They're
Now it's like, oh, you broke
Re-war.
the treaty.
That's
Yeah,
what
I
we
Re-war?
call
guess.
That's the second one where
I
it's going to be
guess,
called
yeah.
The Matrix
Re-war.
Re-war.
yeah, but the movie for sure was poking.
Should have
fun
been
at
called Matrix
itself.
Recycled.
Definitely.
That's what it should have been called.
That'd be a good one.
Matrix redundant.
Joke.
But yeah, it was okay. I mean, let's rate it. Let's rate it.
10.
Trash!
It's not a number.
10.
Trash!
Just 5. We'll
10?
give
You
it a
you
5.
giving it a 10?
You
Yeah, I'll give
can't
it a
give it a 10.
You gave it a
bro.
10?
The Matrix.
You can't.
It's a great movie. Carrie Ann Moss, Keanu
You
Reeves.
cannot give
They
it a
got the
10
legacy
if you gave
characters
the
back.
first
Did you
one a
see
10.
Cool Neo's dance moves? I mean, Cool Morpheus' dance moves.
Cool
Shout out. Hey,
Morpheus.
for real though, shout out. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's so dope. He's the candy man.
I mean, I love him as an actor, but I wouldn't have taken the Morpheus role.
They offered him a bag. He took it.
Yeah, I mean,
To go from Candyman to this, come on.
it's a pretty
That's true.
it's a pretty big IP, you know, and there's gonna be
That's true.
sequels
That's true.
most likely. Might as well.
Get some
And the
bread.
same thing with Jessica. You know, she declined a role on Shang-Chi to be with the Matrix. You know, I mean, she wanted to do both, but they told her you can only choose one, and
Yeah.
she chose.
The right
Well, she
one.
wouldn't have had a big role in Shang-Chi, I don't think. Unless
didn't
she
have
was.
a big role in the Matrix.
She had a no, yeah. I mean, she had a
fast.
bigger role for sure than she would have
I
in
thought it was good.
Shang-Chi. Unless she was going to be Awkwafina's
I didn't think
character.
it was bad.
Nah,
I didn't finish watching the movie like this is bad. This is terrible.
I'm
I
gonna
didn't think
give it
that.
another 7. You know, I think
give it a 5.
two,
I
3, and
think
4
you're
for me
doing
are
the
7s.
nostalgia thing, and you're trying to hold it up to the greatness that is the first.
Not even. You are trying to hold it up to the greatness
No,
by
I'm
giving
not.
it a 10.
Completely separate. The number one movie is
You
is
can't give it a
the
10.
best movie that one of the best movies ever made. if
You
ask
can't
me.
give it a 10 and
It's a
then you
great
give the number one a 10. You just can't do that.
Yeah,
Like,
again. I gave number
off-
1
off-
11.
Off of what
Is
metrics?
that the rule?
I gave number 1 11.
You did give it 11.
Yeah.
But like off of okay. I'm not
That's
going
good
to
enough.
argue with you.
Carrie Ann Moss, Keanu Reeves.
I give it the number of
Our Lord and Savior.
the Matrix that it
Our
is.
Lord and Savior.
It's a 4. I
I'll
give it a 4.
5
I give it a 4.
because
It's,
there's five letters in the word.
but if I
trash.
didn't have to give it a number, it'd be
It'd be a Frank Reynolds.
yes.
Shout out to
Oh,
it'd be a
there
Frank
you go.
Reynolds.
I've been this whole time.
You didn't
I've
know
been
where it
like,
was?
What?
Yeah.
I did not know what it was. Got it, Frank
because
Reynolds.
Enrique was bashing the shit out
He
of the
loves
button the whole
trash.
episode.
It
It's
just
a great episode.
it just
Yeah. No, it was a good episode. We got really in depth, and it was very lengthy, and hopefully all of you enjoyed.
Yeah, almost a 2-hour episode.
Yeah,
hasn't
almost.
felt
I'm
that
sorry.
gang. I mean, we talked about 4 movies, so
Yeah, we did.
The first movie's the best.
Yes, I
is.
was gonna say if you were to rank
no,
them.
second movie's my favorite, but the first movie is the best one.
I
that was
actually
made.
rank it in chronological order. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
Hey, if you can say
I
that
just
the number
wanna
4 is a
argue
10
with
and the other
it.
one's
No.
11,
You're right. I was just joking, guys. I don't think the fourth one's a 10. I'll give it like a 9 though, for the same reasons. Carrie Ann Moss, Keanu Reeves. But
Yeah, at
but
least
not
it
a
was.
10.
I was
Not a
glad
10.
to see Carrie Ann
liked it.
Moss.
I thought it
I
was-
feel like it was her
Wow.
highlight, and that's good.
Yeah.
She should be in more movies.
She should.
I hope that she is in more
Watch
stuff
her pop up in the new
besides
John
the
Wick.
Matrix.
Watch her pop up.
Just
in
a
the
shout
John
out
Wick.
because we didn't
She
really
could.
mention it. First movie, Oracle scene. Don't worry about the vase. Bangers.
Yes.
Love that shit.
Yes.
the vase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What vase? Brooks breaks the vase.
So the
What's
question is,
gonna
were you
bake
going to
your-
break it?
Yeah. What's really gonna bake your noodle later is if you would have broken it if I wouldn't have said anything.
That's crazy.
But that's what I'm saying. That's the kind of stuff that was missing from the fourth movie, which is like those philosophical things.
hmm There is no spoon.
I'll keep talking about this the same.
Nah, I
movie
feel
over
you.
and over.
Yeah, no.
There is no spoon.
Yeah.
Slappers.
Well, we'll end it there. And
Number 4 was a fork. Spork. It was a spork.
I'm dead. Hey man, they used to give us sporks in school to eat our cereal. The milk would just fall out.
Like a long fork, long spork.
Yeah, that was that.
Forks are usually
And with
mostly
that-
spoon.
And with that, we are going to close.
Yeah.
Do you guys want a fact check roundup at the end?
Oh, yeah. Give us a fact check
check
roundup.
roundup.
Go ahead.
About.
All right,
love
We're gonna
it.
wrote all these down.
Fact check roundup. Hold on.
It's a fact check roundup.
According to interviews done by Lana, the pronunciation of the last name is Wachowski.
Oh, okay.
But
all right.
Okay,
I
so I
think
was wrong.
traditionally it's Wachowski, or it's like Americanized pronunciation. So that's how. she
Well,
pronounces
cow.
it.
But isn't a CH?
So it's
Yeah.
Wachowski.
It's
It's
Wachowski. That's how
Wachowski.
But
they.
in
That's how they
their
say it.
in their
That's how they say it.
ethnicity,
All
it's supposed to be
Okay.
silent.
So
If they say it that way, that's how it's said.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm with that.
You guys were asking about like the fight choreography earlier, and you
Mhm.
guys did notice that it was different in this one. So,
Yeah.
do you guys know who did the fight choreography in
Mm-mm.
the first? So, Wu Ping Yuan, sorry for the pronunciation, did the first 3 Matrix films.
hmm
Other films that he did: Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon,
Fire.
Nailed
Lethal
it.
Weapon,
Fire.
Kill Bill. So that is a big. I think that's the biggest thing missing from this film. But
For sure.
that's just my opinion.
No, I
It's
agree.
not my job
Fight scenes in general,
right
honestly.
now. And the person that consulted on this film is Chad Stahelski. His name sound familiar?
No.
The director for all the John Wick films. He's also in this movie as well.
Oh yeah.
He's in the movie.
Yeah, he plays Chad according to IMDb. So he's
Oh,
in
Chad, obviously.
yeah. So he's in a couple
Don't
scenes, and he consulted with Lana. There's no like official credit
the
for
Chad.
fight choreography in this.
Yeah, because
film.
there's not really a lot of fights. There's
Yeah.
one with the homeless French gang, whatever,
Yeah.
and that was it.
Hong
I
Kong,
don't really remember.
Hong Kong
There's
action
a
cinema.
fight with Agent Smith.
Yeah. So there's someone else.
the new
Yeah, in the
Agent Smith,
basement
yeah.
when they're in the basement. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, they tried to recreate the
I mean-
fire subway fight and failed miserably.
Yeah, I mean, if you
Neil
look
Patrick Harris never fought.
No,
Nah, he just
They
moved
should have
very
scrapped
slowly.
bro up.
he got
Yeah.
punched in the
They should
lip.
have let him fight.
Squabbled.
Neo. Yeah.
If Neil Patrick Harris started
He will.
fighting, that would have threw me. I would have walked out the theater.
Honestly, I think that's another thing that made this movie pretty bad. Sorry to cut off the facts thing. It's there was no real loss. There's no sense of loss in the movie. Like I never felt like anything was at jeopardy.
Mhm.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
Yeah.
I agree.
yeah.
Yeah, the other person that assisted is like some dude named Ulrich Brukos that he's also worked on Jupiter Ascending, which is like another Wachowski's
Wachowski.
Trash!
film. So
It's a trash
I
film.
never seen that one.
Yeah, so yeah, very much like you take away the Hong Kong cinema style fighting and you just get John Wick fighting scenes, which is
Notorious
is
for
dependent
being
on
very
weapons.
huge and popular, right?
There was a lot more fight scenes
In John Wick.
I think he's more famous for his
Anything else?
gun scenes, actually. Right?
Yeah.
He's more famous for the weapon scenes with the
Yeah.
guns.
And-
It's just any weapon scene because he doesn't just use guns. He kill you with that.
He uses
And,
mallets,
Yeah.
Kill you with a pencil.
samurai swords, katanas.
It's like what Equilibrium wanted to be like.
Mm.
Alrighty. Well,
No, it's
Last
it's
one.
one of those that came after the Matrix. That was like
Mm-hmm.
the Matrix is the cool thing now, so let's make Equilibrium. And Christian Bale, tried to do his best with kung fu guns.
Got it.
Yeah. Last number y'all were asking for before we hand it back to you, Skywalker Mike, is about the streams. They do track the streams. They said in the first 5 days, got 2.8 million streams on HBO Max, which pales in comparison to Godzilla, 3.6 million in the first week.
Hmm.
So
I think what the small number of views too is like at the end of the year after people saw Spider-Man, they're like, all right, I'm not going to the movies no more. That's it. That was the end of the year.
Spider-Man came out at the perfect time because there were no movies to even match the hype around Spider-Man.
And I think Matrix was supposed to come out the same day as Spider-Man, so Matrix had to push it back to a Wednesday.
It pushed it
the
back to
week
the
after.
21st.
Yeah, because that would have been a mistake.
Yeah. Definitely.
Although probably Disney strong armed them and said,
Yeah.
"You're not coming out."
kinda
At the same
sad.
time. Sorry, fam.
But yeah, I mean that just shows Warner Brothers
It's trash.
is weak.
Trash!
Yeah. Matrix is awesome.
Yeah, but we'll end
As a
there. I mean,
franchise-
we can talk about this all day. you
As a
know.
concept,
Real quick, shout out
Appreciate
to
it.
our guest star today, Veow.
Yeah.
Veow, before you go, just let people know where they can find you, what you're working on, what's going on in your life. Because you are hands down one of our favorite people in the world.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You can find me on the internet.
In
I
the
don't work on
Matrix.
much.
Oh, you worked on my video. What you mean?
That's true.
The whole
I did.
2 videos actually.
You guys
so-
ever pop up to an event and you see this really cool, mysterious looking dude holding a camera?
in
Probably Val.
cut off
Mysterious, huh?
jeans?
Interesting.
What is it? Cut
I
off?
come off as mysterious?
a little bit.
Not mysterious. I would.
Cool.
I also just fact checked that. And that
Only
that's
mysterious
true.
thing
It's
about
fact-
you is those
fact
cut
check.
off
Veow's
501
mysterious.
jeans.
What's mysterious about that? They were very blatant.
Well,
Veow wears
I'd
shorts in
say
the cold.
you buy them
You're
new
subtle.
and then you cut them. You don't even wait to wear them out. It's pretty mysterious.
You could just buy jorts, bro.
Yeah, you could buy them pre-cut, no?
I needed pants for a day or two.
Okay.
And then you cut them off to wear
And
them
then
in the
you-
cold.
So you did wear them a little bit. All right, that makes sense.
Hilarious.
All righty, well, we'll end it there. And
Good job, guys. This is a good
yeah,
pod.
It was a good pod.
Hey, man.
If you want
Thank
to
you,
start a
guys.
podcast like this one, hit up Productive Culture at productiveculture.com/podcast.
Yeah.
And they'll get you started. You know, whatever you want to do. You want to talk about cars or nothing or
The Matrix.
the
Don't do it about
Matrix.
nothing. We have to edit these.
Oh, yeah, he edits.
Hard to deal with when you don't talk about anything.
It's true.
But yeah, it was
Sure.
a good one. And we'll catch you on the next one.
Yeah. Peace out,
Bye,
everybody.
guys.
Thank you, guys.